Don't believe in aliens and never going to land. Don't believe in cryptids that leave footprints in the sand. Don't believe in spirits appearing from the dead. The only demons out there are living in your head. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the bring from a dedicated skeptic. We all know what that means. He's lurking in the shadows and crushing on your dreams. Dream crusher, the Lord of non-belief. If you can't prove it, no one can get ready for the bring from a dedicated skeptic. We all know what that means.
Woohoo! I'm back, bitches! Hello, everyone. It's Friday night. Look at my hair. It's like all down and shit. Like I was wearing a hat all day or something. I was, because it was chilly. Because I'm in Buffalo, New York, and it's fucking cold here. Oh, damn. Hello, everyone. Hello. How's everyone doing? Whew. I'm out of breath. I was jamming. I was doing the air drums during the intro, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm too fat and out of shape to do this now. Oh, who we got? We got a whole bunch of people. I saw Michael Burkeen was in the house. Malachi's in the house. Cat Mac. It's date night. Wait. Oh, it's a tiara. We got Blast Rights. I love it. Kit Ford is in the house. Good to see you. I am Kenny Biddle's in the house. Look at that. Wayne Dawson is in the house. Oh God, I'm out of breath. I gotta work out some more. I gotta start hitting the gym. Maybe I'll join a gym and then I'll start hitting the gym. Who else? Wandering Wenchy was made a cameo in my last CFI video because I did the USS the Sullivans, and so Wandering Wenchy made an appearance. Let's see. Glenda Watt. What's up? Victoria. Oh, look, Victoria. I'm wearing this shirt. It says science when you're tired of being wrong. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. What else we got? I'm trying to go down and make sure I get everyone. Chris Williams. Shauna. Damn it, Bob's in the house. Boing. I like how I've signed for people. Giselle L. Raven. Daniel Reed's in the house. Jagger 71. Am I saying that? Or Jaeger? Is it Jaeger? 71? I like Jaeger. Oh, man. Florio's Phantom Files. Am I saying that right? Florio? I probably asked that before. But so tonight, Donna is away. She's in Philly. She's probably watching right now with Diana. So Tim Vickers is filling in. He's in the background. And we have this thing on Three Tortured Souls where we are horrible with pronouncing names. Like so horrible. And we constantly make fun of each other when we screw them up. So that's why I always ask. Plus, it's polite. I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Teaching it forward. That's Damn It Bob. Chris 52 is in the house. Richard, single name Richard. Obscure reference man. That's Tim Binga. Tim Binga's in the house. He's our favorite librarian. Let me see. I'm just going down. Ben Rafford's in the house. Oh my God. Yeah, stick around, Ben. You might learn something. He's going, oh, all right, Biddle. I think, did I get everyone so far? John without an H is in the house. Oh, John's going to give a talk. Was it next week, John? That you're going to give a talk to the Triangle Skeptics down there in Raleigh? That's awesome. I love that. I love that you're doing that. Mike O is in the house. Hey. We got so many people. Donna's not here to tell me to keep going. Come on, let's go. And jumping ahead. Hey, there's Diana. Tim Vickers is in the house. Look at that. Boop. I love having fun like this. I am unsupervised. What's really bad is that poor Tim's in the background with headphones. I know every time I get loud, it's probably driving him crazy. Silent Cow is in the house. Teach it forward. I think, am I caught up? I think everyone's Genesis 23, Lady Gray Eyes. Awesome. All right. So I see some questions coming in so far. Hey, there's Donna. And there's a capital cat, capital letters cat with a bat. Yeah, nice. All right. So tonight is open mic night because I couldn't find a guest. So default is open mic night. That means you guys keep the show going. Let me go over the rules. I have to go over the rules before we do anything else, because if I don't go over the rules, it's chaos and it's all over and dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. I'm going to get a copyright strike for that. Let's go to the rules. Rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. That's cool with me because this is a learning show for all of us, not just you guys, not just me. It's all of us. We learn together. Rule number 2, I don't know everything. That's what it is. Actually, me and Tim we're having a conversation about that before the show, about not knowing everything. And that's a good thing because it makes you strive to learn more. And it gives, at least for me, it gives me purpose to learn more. So I have the great and powerful Google open on both sides of the central window here. And if we have a question that I don't know the answer to, I will look it up and we'll figure it out together as a family. Oh, ain't that cute? The heart. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here, and that's be nice. You can be in the chat room and you can debate things. You can have disagreements. You can disagree. That's cool. Do not get into a fight about it. Don't start name calling and bashing in one another, because if you do, Tim Vickers has full vickering power. I mean, he's the OG vickerer. Vickerer. He's the OG, and he will boot your ass out of here forever, because I didn't bother relearning how to get people back. So you're gone forever. It's like a black hole of cyberspace. Rule number 4 is that if you do have a question, please do us a favor, put a capital Q in front of it. And that way, Tim, who's in the background, can put them into the saved category and we can get through them. And then rule number 5 is my favorite. Drink up. Chink. All right, wait, we got to go turn on the neon sign. There we go. And go back to what we have here. So tonight is open mic night, which means that we keep going pretty much as long as you guys have questions to put out there, or if you have a topic to throw out there. And also, if you want, I am not above or below. I'm not above putting the link to join me for a few minutes. So if you're brave enough to come on the show and face me, virtual face to virtual face, have a conversation for a few minutes, I'll put the link in the chat. That way you can, we can chat together and you can ask your question in person-ish. And we'll go from there. So, what do we got here? Scott. What is that? How do you say that? Scale? Scale? I thought the dash over top was like when you do A, like you pronounce it A. Scale? I don't know how to say that. Steve Dills is in the house. What? Death match. Whatever. Steve ran the Hanover Tavern Paracon last weekend that I was at with Dave. Skull. Oh, okay. Skull. Skull? Is that how you pronounce it? Or so yeah, we were down there last week, and that looked like a little Stargate symbol with the A with the little circle on top. That was funny. So yeah, we were down. I was down in Virginia with Dave Schumacher. Unfortunately, Tim couldn't make it. He had responsibilities at home, so he could not make. So I can't make fun of him too much. But Dave and I went down, and we had a awesome time. It was so much fun. Got to know the guys from CPRI, which is a paranormal group, but I wouldn't call them ghost hunters because they use more science than I've ever seen a paranormal group use. So I was really impressed with them, and they're going to be on this show on the 21st. So I have a few of them coming on, and we're going to actually have a big panel because there's 4 of them and me, and then so all of us will be on screen. We'll have a nice time. I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's see. Did I miss anyone here? No. Dawn of the Dead is in the house. Okay, good. All right, so I guess we can hit some questions if you want. We can get it started off. Blast writes, I love the profile picture. That's a cool caricature. Well, it's not really a caricature, more an avatar, right? All right, if someone was to send you a shirt, what size do you wear? Woo-hoo! I'm going to have my 2025 wardrobe. I take fat guy, which is 2X to me. I usually say fat guy, but 2X would be great. If you don't have to, if you don't want to, I mean, it's up to you, but appreciate it. I got this shirt from Victoria, who is in the chat. Oh, Blast Rights is a member. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You became a member. Thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoy the content. It's more like behind the scenes, not all paranormal. It's kind of more personal kind of stuff. Like we engage on a more personal level, and you get to know more about me outside the paranormal. It's like talk with Kenny. Kenny's Corner. Anyway, I got this from Victoria today. She also sent me another shirt that says I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this, which I love too. I'm so excited. It was a coin cost about for which one I was gonna wear tonight. So but yeah, if you want to, I mean I take a 2X. That's comfy. And I like these shirts too. Like this shirt is nice and comfy. It's room, and then it's tight on the sleeves because I like to show off my fake muscles because they're not real. I mean, the camera just adds. It looks big on the camera, or I don't know if it does, but it's not. Oh man. All right. So thank you for the question. Appreciate it. Wayne, have you tried to debunk the Ouija brothers? I love you. Your house. I love you. If not, I challenge you to do so. Oh, challenge me. So I did see that. So Mythos did a video, and I was watching that. And to be honest, like the first few times, because I was jumping around, it was I don't get to watch all the videos because I'm here at work and I was editing my own videos. So I kind of I don't want to sound mean, but I kind of jump around and get to like the meat of the video. And I got to, I guess, one of the first times they heard it, and I was like, I don't hear anything. What are they talking about? And it's funny because like Mythos is doing a reaction video, and he's like, "Whoa, did you hear that? Oh my gosh!" And I'm sitting here going, I don't hear anything. What like I hear a noise, but not what they're hearing. And then I jumped around a little bit more back and forth, and like one or two of them, it kind of sounds like it, but because apparently for everyone that doesn't know, the Ouija brothers did a video and they were at a location, I guess some time ago, and they got several recordings in the same area of what sounds like to them a voice saying, "I love you." And I believe it was a male voice and a female voice. So that I didn't really look at it or listen to it in this case too closely. I was going back and forth, and again, I was trying to finish up some editing on my own. But unfortunately, like by the time I got to that, and because they tell you what it says, because it did come up on screen, it's priming, and that's a problem because now I was primed to hear it, so yeah, I'm going to hear it. Even the first time, I was like, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything that's remotely like that. And I started to type that in to the comments until I was like, oh, well, he said that there's a couple more times. So let me go back and let me listen to a few more. And yeah, twice I may or may not have heard it. I don't know. What's going on right here with this little thing out of control? But again, because I was primed to hear that, I don't know if I'm actually hearing that or not. I'd have to listen to it with headphones, maybe a couple times, go through the whole video. But I do like that at the end of the Ouija brothers, they themselves, the one guy, I'm sorry, I don't know all of them by name, but the one guy was like, it all happened in the same stairwell, like pretty much in the same stairwell. And he doesn't think it's paranormal. It's something weird. So it could be something on them. It could be something that's in that stairwell. But apparently, from what I learned at the end of the video, the Ouija brothers went back to the same location and it's been trashed. Like it's been torn apart and things are torn down, almost like they were stripping it down and going to bulldoze the building. So they couldn't do any kind of experiments or recreation, which sucks. That really does suck because at least they were willing to go back and say, hey, we got to figure this out. And I like that. I promote that kind of idea. So it's a shame. But as for debunk, like I want to explain here that that's not what I set out to do. Honestly, I mean, I know the other guys like Beardo and Justin from PMP and stuff, like they joke that I'm like this, I'm a debunker, and I'm not. I'm not a debunker. I don't call myself that. I'm an investigator, and that's my job, to investigate these claims and go to the truth, find the truth, find the conclusion, no matter where the data leads me. So I'm not going to go in with my own conclusion. And when you call yourself a debunker, I feel that goes in with a bias because that's you're presenting yourself as, I'm the guy that's going to take the falseness out of that claim. And I just don't like that. What is it? I'm forgetting the word. That stigma going in with me. I'm not a debunker. So I would like to help explain it, or maybe find an explanation for it. So I'm going to listen to it again. I do plan on listening to it. Maybe this weekend I'm going to go through the original video and follow what they're doing and go from there. Moniker. Is that what I'm looking for? Moniker. Or no, a name. Okay. Title? No. I love everyone's giving me suggestions. I'm surprised the Ouija brothers haven't sent you all the footage of both investigations. Well, that's because I really don't know them. So I wouldn't expect them to do that. I don't know them. I don't think I've really interacted with them at all. I've seen a couple of their lives and I've popped in just to listen, but I haven't stayed long. And that's not a reflection on them. It's usually because the time difference with here in the UK, it's or wherever they are, it's later at night for them, and it's usually during work hours for me. So I'm listening, working, and then when I'm doing any kind of video, I have to shut everything off so it's not distracting me, because I get easily distracted. Squirrel. Okay, I'm good. I crack myself up, and it's really, it's kind of sad because I am here alone in this big ass building and I'm cracking myself up. I feel pitiful sometimes. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's pretty strong. All right. So yeah. Okay. Why do you keep missing me? I'm sorry, Kenny Claus. Do I keep missing you? Am I am I shooting? Am I a stormtrooper? Hi, Julianne. Oh, maybe did I miss your name? I'm sorry, Julianne. I go for so long, and then I have to switch over to the rules. So I'm sorry. So hi, Julie, and hi. Oh, a druid drummer. That's a good name too. I like that. Laura Jordan is in the house. If I see names like that, I'll say hi to you. All right, cool. What else we got? Bum 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 bum. Obscure reference man to the rescue. Do you have one of our Science Works bitches shirt? Oh, do I have that? I think I have one. It's not from CFI. I have I have one that's, what is it? I think it's Bill Nye. I think that's the one I have. But I'm not sure. I haven't seen it for a while. I mean, I was talking to Eric today about Eric Behind the Wall about shirts, because I showed him the 2 shirts that I got today. And I was like, dude, I literally, no lie, no exaggeration, I easily have enough t-shirts to wear one every single day for a year and not wear the same one. Because I have shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of t-shirts. And it's, you never know what kind of message you want to present. And I'm a t-shirt guy. I'm a graphic t-shirt guy. Like, I want to just send a message sometimes. One of my favorites is, like, I have a Preparation H shirt that I wear when I go to, like, certain events where there's people in there. I won't name names, Matt Haas, that I don't like. And I want to make sure, like, if they get butt hurt, I can have, like, oh, I got a shirt for you. He has about 1,000 shirts. I do. I totally do. For every occasion, I have shirts. For every holiday, for every message that I want. Like, do I like everyone? Am I feeling positive today? Or am I feeling like a dick? I got a shirt for everything. Whew, I'm feeling good. How about you guys? Is everyone doing good? You looking good? You looking ready? Or, oh my God, I can't even talk. Are you looking forward to the weekend? That's what I want to know. That's my question to you. All right. What else we got? Tim's doing an excellent job, by the way. Thank you. Oh, you should see him look for a certain one. Oh my God. Like, I get, so if we're going to a certain thing, or if I'm appearing on someone's podcast, or if we're going to an event, and I want a certain shirt, like, I know I have it. And sometimes it takes me a good, like, 15, 20 minutes to find it, because I have so many shirts to go through. And I don't know if I put it over here, because I have piles and I have a full bookcase. Like, one of these bookcases is just nothing but t-shirts piled in it. And then that's not even in what's in my closet and the dresser. So, and then if I have them other places, but there's always a t-shirt for the scenario. So there you go. I'm like a wealth of words today. Woo. All right. What else we got? Mysteries Untold by Michael Burkeen. Do you think crystals and other minerals can elevate paranormal activity, or is it hogwash? It is 100% hogwash. There is nothing. I have not seen anything over the years that would make me believe any kind of crystals do anything other than look pretty. I will say, so for those of you that might be out there going, well, quartz does this. Quartz has the piezoelectric quality. So if you apply pressure to it, it will generate a charge. But piezoelectric? Yeah, piezoelectric. So there's another quality of quartz, which is in quartz crystals. And this is something I've argued with people over the years with, because many people come up and say, hey, and this is from the paranormal community. They usually come up and say, hey, so what about quartz crystals? Because they power watches, a quartz watch. It powers it. And My response is always the same. No, it does not power it. The battery in the watch powers the watch. That's what the battery does. But the quartz crystal resonates or vibrates at a specific frequency, which is excellent at keeping time. It resonates at that specific frequency when a charge is applied to it. And that's how quartz crystals work, or quartz watches work. So it's perfect for keeping time, very accurate time. So that's what it's used for. It doesn't actually power or do anything other mystical abilities to the watch. I have a chest. I really have a treasure, like a treasure chest kind of thing over on the shelf with all the different crystals and stones and stuff like that. And they have meanings for like good luck and good fortune and healing and positive mood and stuff. And I've tested some of them too. I've actually tested because I've taken it to work. When I used to work in Philly, I worked for Siemens, which was an X-ray. I maintained X-ray machines in all the hospitals in the tri-state area. So my partner was always a doubting Thomas, he was more on the side of believing everything. So I shouldn't call him a doubting Thomas. He was a doubting Thomas with me. So he believed everything. And when I tried to give him some science, he was like, no. So I actually brought in some crystals for him to look at and to play with. And I gave him ones with the little card that says like what it's supposed to do, like give you good luck and this and that. And I gave it to him and said, here, keep it in your pocket and tell me if you notice a significant increase in good luck, whatever that means. Needless to say, I won't go into details, but he did not have good luck at all. And he ended up giving it back. Mysteries Untold. Do you like crystals like the rocks and minerals, not the fast food? If so, I'm sending one for you and Donna as well. Should be there next. Oh, cool. I don't mind the crystals. I have a bunch of quartz. I actually have really cool formations of quartz. I have one that looks like the dark crystal, but it's quartz crystal. Hold on. You stay right there. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to get it. It's right over here on the shelf. So I'm going to get my crystals so I can show them off. Because, nothing says skeptic than showing off your crystals on a live stream. So this is the one quartz piece that I picked out, which, I think it looks like the dark crystal, except, not the color, but I think that's awesome. I like this one because it's a nice triangle thing, but they're just pretty. And then I have my all my crystals in there, but I have all the papers somewhere, and I keep them just because I used to take them to shows and show people like there's nothing to them, like I can give you anything. I can give you my 3D printed Slimer and tell you it does the same thing as any of these crystals. And if you believe that stuff, you may feel like it does make a difference in your life, but it won't. So that's a good question, though. It's a good question. I see that every time I go to a paranormal conference or a psychic fair. Especially psychic fairs, and there's a bunch of them up here. It's like a playground for me. But even last weekend at the Hanover Tavern, there were a few booths that had crystals and crystal power and stuff like that. And it's like there's no science behind it. It's pure fantasy. Like a lot of the ghost hunting gadgets. Chris, let me put it this way. Crystals work just as good as this with communicating ghosts. There's your comparison. Oh, I love rum. All right. Let's see. Cat Mac. Are we doing something special for date night next week, Valentine's Day, or will you be off with the Divine One being romantical? Sadly, Donna will not be home in time. So my plan is to go see Captain America because that's releasing on Valentine's Day. So that's my plan. I'm going to go to the theater down the street. I'm going to watch Captain America because that's like, yeah, I want to see the Red Hulk, and see how that all plays out. I mean, Han Solo becoming the Red Hulk. That's pretty awesome. I like that. Yeah. All right. What else we got? What's your favorite acronym and why? Wow. I haven't really thought about that. My favorite acronym. Shield. Oh, let me see. Let's see. I like Shield. I mean, I used to have that on stuff. I don't. Do I have one? I don't have one. I don't. Where do you get these questions, Ben? You weirdo. I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea what my favorite acronym was. To be honest, no. I can answer that. I do not have a favorite acronym because they're just acronyms. So I don't have a favorite. I don't have a least favorite. I don't have one that I hate. They are. That's it. Oh, excuse me. Yep, I stand corrected. Fubar is a pretty damn good one. You got it, Kent. There you go. I changed my answer. Fubar. Oh my God, I used to say that all the time after that movie came out. What was that? Wasn't that the one with Stallone and Kurt Russell? Isn't that where Fubar came from? I think it was. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. What do we got here? John without an H. What was your most trickiest case that you were able to solve? One that really had your head scratching. Scratch my head for there, scratch my chin. Let me see. The trickiest case. I don't know. They all have their own tricks and hurdles to get over. From finding the people to locating documents to getting people to respond to you. That's probably the hardest across the board. Tango and Cash. Thank you, Bob. Getting people to respond is probably the hardest part, I think, because you find out that some person has specific information or was the only witness to something, or created a document that you can't find, and you reach out to them several times, multiple avenues in order to get in touch with them, and you just can't get a response. Other times it's like that, like I send, when I did the Belair House investigation, I tracked the previous owners, and I was able to find contact information for the previous owners of the house and reached out to them, and all of them responded, which I was amazed at. I mean, I was like, oh, this never happens. This is awesome. I love this. Other times, like the one I'm working on now, which I can't give away just yet because it's in progress, but I've reached out to several people for information, for confirmation on things that they were named in. So, like, part of the story mentions these specific people, and I'm trying to verify whether it's true or not. They were part of this story or not, or what. And it's been weeks, and it's a pain in the ass, but I get it. Sometimes people just don't want to respond or don't want to be bothered, and I get that. It sucks for me. So I think I'm trying to. I'm at this point. Well, I've been at this point for a while where I don't remember all of the cases that I worked on. Sometimes I go through the list and I'm like, oh shit, I did work on that. Wow. So let me see. I'm going through them on my page now, which I will shamelessly. shamelessly put in the chat in case anybody wants to read my work or watch my work. So the let me see. The trickiest. I'm looking, testing dowsers, the urn that I found in the Goodwill store, Knickerbocker Hotel, UFO. Oh, so maybe one of the trickiest. I don't know if this is the trickiest, but one of the trickiest was the UFO over New York case that I worked on. And I had the help of Mick West, who is like the go-to guy for explaining what's going on with alleged UFO videos. So basically, the quick and dirty story is that somebody was on a plane going into, I think they were going into LaGuardia Air Force. No, not the Air Force Base. They were going up to New York City area. The plane was coming down. It was on descent, and they were filming out the window, and a black object zoomed by, or appeared to zoom by the window. And we looked at it, and I started looking at it, and I knew Mick was going to look at it because it was in the news. So I knew he was going to be on top of it. But I was looking at it myself, and I was like, oh, I think it's this. I think it's that. So I reached out, and I talked to him, and I was on the right page because we were on the same page. So to me, that means I was on the right page. And I was trying to do an experiment to show, because the object was only in, I believe, 7 frames of the video. And Mick was able to calculate the speed, because when it comes to any kind of aerial investigation, like aircraft and stuff like that, like Mick is the man. But he was able to calculate the speed and heights of the plane, and we calculated that if I drove in my car, if I had a balloon set up, because we both thought it was a balloon, if I drove past it at 25 miles per hour from a specific distance away, that would simulate the speed of the plane. Because we thought the balloon was stationary, because it does look stationary. And I was able to do that. My neighbors thought it was weird because I was just driving back and forth on the street like multiple times. I did it for like a half hour going back and forth. And I mean, the whole time I got my hand out the window with the phone trying to film it. So it was tricky because I was doing it myself. And it was, ooh, that was loud. It was not really windy out, but I needed the balloon to be in a specific position, like flat, so I could do it. So I had it tied to trash bags and stuff like that, or trash cans, and not weighed it down, but anchored down. And that was the second balloon. The first balloon set itself free because we were trying to take pictures of it in the sky, and then the line got caught in the tree, and the tree snapped the line, and me and Eric behind the wall just watched it float away, and we waved, said, bye-bye, go be a UFO, make us proud. So there, hopefully that answered your question. And FUBAR, 1944 acronym from Fucked Up Beyond All Recognition, said to be military slang originally. Oh, okay. The first I heard of it was Tango and Cash. But I mean, obviously I don't know. So obviously I wasn't around in that years, 1944. So I heard it, back in what was it, the 80s or 90s, when that came out. And I was like, oh, that's the greatest thing. I love that. That's awesome. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Can you sleep at your office? I mean, I can, but I don't want to. I mean, there's a nice comfy couch out in the reading room, but it's not something I would do. I mean, because it's place of work, and I don't want people coming in the morning and just finding me like drooling all over the couch and shit like that. No, and I don't. I mean, I can walk home. I live that close, so it's not a problem. I haven't like even gotten tired here, because I'm so into things. Like, I'm so into what I'm doing. I'm usually here like this, looking at the screen and going back and forth. I'm like, oh, what's this? Okay, I got that. All right, great. And I love just being here. I'm usually excited. I'm rarely tired. And if I'm in here and I'm just like, I'm tired, that's usually, you can almost put money on this, that I was up way too late playing video games. That's my own downfall, because yeah, I like playing the game, and I was like, oh yeah, play. I can do one more mission, right? What's the big deal? Cat Mac, have you heard that ghosts are attracted to water? What other weird claims have you heard about ghosts? Where do they come up with these ideas? So I know water has been part of the folklore and belief, because it's this idea that running water it creates energy, but really only when there's a dam attached to it. But it's an idea because it gives life, it has life in it, and that there's some connection to it. Because so many people I hear say, well, there's an underground river, so it's creating energy. I'm like, well, what kind of energy is that? Like, it's just a flowing river. Okay. So I don't know where that came from. So what other weird claims have you heard about ghosts? So I've heard there's, oh my God, there's so many things. That ghosts can only lift things up to 5 pounds, which really doesn't make sense considering so many people complain about furniture being moved around. That ghosts can go through solid objects, yet they don't fall through the floor ever. Like, they can walk through walls, but they never fall through the floor. Or they're not affected by gravity at all, because they stay on the planet. What else? That there's, well, they can communicate, obviously, through any device. It doesn't matter. And they automatically know how every device works, because, it doesn't matter what you put out. And you say, oh, do something, make that light up. And, like, half the time when people like have a gadget like this and they're like, oh, make that light up, I don't know how to fucking make it light up. And I'm alive. I got fingers and shit. I can push buttons and shit, but I can't do that. That it's not just ghosts have been made of electromagnetic fields, that they are made of radiation, like harmful radiation. That, oh, what was the one? Sun powered ghosts. I remember that was something from Gettysburg. Because I was talking to some guy at a ghost tour, and he was using a green laser, and I asked him about it, like, why do you do that? And he's like, oh, it's the brightest color, and that's why we use it. And I was like, well, I don't think so. Blue is actually, when you're talking about distance and seeing in distance, blue is the best light to use. But he also said, well, ghosts are better at night because they collect all the solar energy during the day, and that makes them be able to appear transparent and glow during the night. And I remember, like, I think that's like one of the few times like my jaw went like that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you're talking about solar powered ghosts? and the guy was dead serious, like, that they absorbed, like Superman, that they ghosts be lazy in the afterlife, that they absorbed solar energy during the or sunlight during the day, and then that way they could do all their magical powers at night, which I found just incredibly fascinating. But unfortunately, that was as far as that guy went with the explanation. He couldn't give me any more details or any more information on it, which, I mean, I'm not surprised, because there is no more on that kind of idea. But it was interesting. Solar powered, like, makes you think, like, all these big fields of solar panels, like, must be haunted as shit. Victoria, hello. I'd like to see the paper. Yeah, me too. I'd like to see the paper. And unfortunately, you're not gonna, because I mean, so many people, heart investigations, I see you. If ghosts prefer water, shouldn't they be hydroelectric? I mean, damn, nice. I like that. You made me lose my thought. Oh my god. Yeah, I totally forget what I was thinking of. Oh, solar powered stuff. The paper. Like, you're never gonna find a paper. I mean, there's papers out there, like especially if you talk to like Dave. There's parapsychology papers out there that deal with statistics and probability and stuff like that, and experiments done in haunted versus non-haunted areas. And squirrel. Yeah, I know. But when it comes to like ghosts being backed up or ghosts being able to absorb sunlight, you're not going to find that. And that's basically an idea that someone came up with that sounds good. And to be honest, and this was years ago, but I still think people make up shit. They fabricate shit. Well, I mean, we see it. We see it in our world today. Fabricate things to look important, to look like they know what they're talking about when they really have no clue. And it takes someone that has studied it and is learned in specific topics to know specifically that person A has no fucking clue. But unfortunately, there's so much word salad that's out there, and so much of the community, and I'm not trying to be mean with this, but so much of our community only does enough, like just enough to get by. They don't go above and beyond what they need to learn. They don't look at the sciences behind what they're talking about. So, and unfortunately, so many people get their education from shitty TV shows that they watch over and over again and think that's science, and it's can't be any further from the truth. So when you're dealing with that, it's almost a no-win situation when you try to have a conversation, because they're like, oh, like I saw on Ghost Adventures this and this and this. It's like, well, Ghost Adventures can kiss my ass. It's not science. And maybe you should read a book. I have plenty of science books. I can loan you one. We should do a giveaway. What time is it? It's 48. Because I got a whole bunch of stuff. I want to do a giveaway, but I'm not sure what to do. All right, let's try. I'm going to try and think about that in the back of my mind while I answer another question. How do you get to keep so much cool shit in your office? I never got to do that with any office I ever had. So I live by the philosophy that it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. And I just brought everything in. I mean, most of the stuff you see in here, and you don't see, I mean, the members, YouTube members, see more of it because I usually do like shots from different angles. But most of the stuff here was brought in one weekend. I packed up my car, brought a lot of it up, and just filled it up. So everyone went home Friday. My coworker Paul came in, I think it was Friday night, or maybe it was Saturday morning. He came in and gave me a key and got me into the alarm system and stuff so I could work that. And I just spent 2 days in here and just did it all. And I think, well, no, actually it was more than that, because I think that was the weekend when I started. October 10th is when I started, and I came in that weekend, did that, and then spent the next week every night. I'd sit here and work and would organize stuff. So, but it's not too much unlike my predecessor. So Joe Nickel was the guy that did it before I did. And his office was kind of like this. And he had all his like artifacts from his investigations and stuff that he's collected over the years. And it was kind of like, it was all right. They didn't mind. And everyone has like, Eric's got a nice collection of cameras in his office. He's got like a Lego globe, the Lego, that's what it's called? Yeah, globe. A couple other things in there. Down the hall, one of the people have like more plants than I've ever seen in an office ever. It's like it's a jungle. It is a jungle. But it's nice, and it's her office, and that's kind of the freedom that they give you here. Is like that's your office as long as like I don't live in here. I think it's okay. And oh, I'm not allowed to start fires anymore. I'm not going to talk about that. But anyway, and it's just fun. I mean, everybody when people do visit CFI here, I do get to show off. I met Joe Nickel at a talk in St. Pete, Florida, long ago. He had a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge, and I've learned a lot from him. But yeah, when we do tours here, I take people around. Chris 52 has been here. A few people have been here. Daniel Reed has been here a few times. But yeah, I like to show off and especially my vintage camera collection. Because I love vintage cameras, and then all the stuff that's out in the hall. Because, I mean, before I got here, it was so plain. It was so plain. It needed decorations. It needed something to spruce it up and say, "Hey, Kenny's here." So I did, and we bought like display cases. We bought extra display cases, and I filled them. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here, artifacts and memorabilia and stuff like that. And so if you're in the area, come on by, give me a shout and say, hey, I want to take a tour, and I will take you through a tour. I still don't know what I'm doing for trivia. I think I'm just going to do like a random thing, like an old school random thing before, or when we come back from break. I'll just say, all right, everyone that wants a prize, type in prize and go through, and I'll click on somebody and they'll get something. So, all right, let's try one more question. See, Cree Storm, what are your thoughts on holistic healing? So, holistic is, when it comes to medicine, characterized by the treatment of the whole person, taking into account mental and social factors rather than just symptoms of an illness. So I guess it depends on what you're talking about here, because I see like there's one side of it where they're taking in psychological issues or mental health issues, and imparting like science or diet and exercise into someone's well-being. And then there's also the idea holistic means like acupuncture or Reiki and stuff like that. And it depends on what you're talking about. The first example, I think, is okay. You know, like if you have mental health problems that's causing you to gain weight, or bad posture or something like that, or causing other issues, then yeah, you have to treat all the issues that are causing your symptoms. But if we're talking about Reiki and other pseudoscientific practices, then no, I don't agree with it. And I think it's a waste of money. Reiki has been shown not to work whatsoever. And acupuncture hasn't been shown to do anything either. So all these other things that go into like holistic wellness, spiritual kind of stuff, it's more of a kind of a placebo, but it doesn't always work. And I don't agree with it. And I would encourage people not to do those practices, because it's just, don't waste your money. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know what you were talking about on either side there. So maybe clarification will help, and we can revisit this. Yeah, alternative medicine. I mean, when alternative medicine actually becomes something legit, it's called medicine, not alternative. Yeah. All right, one more, please, Tim. Tim's like on the ball. He's like, yeah. What would be your favorite cryptid to be killed by? What? Wait a minute. What would be your favorite cryptid to be killed by, and what? Oh, so one that would kill me. Oh, well, that's not a thought I ever had thunk before. I know it's really not something I thought about. I mean, I don't want to be mauled and beaten by a Bigfoot or eaten by a sea monster. Like drowning is like my worst fear. Is one of my worst fears. Just that thought just scares me. And to add on a possible sea creature eating me at the same time, no. Mothman, no question. I'm gonna say none. Because vampire, that's a good one. I mean, that's like I see that vampire. Does that count? So I mean, because that's not really being killed. That's you become the undead. At least Bigfoot would give you beef jerky. Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, here's some beef jerky before I eat you. So I don't need to be fattened up. I'm already there. I think I'm a pretty damn good meal for somebody right now. So, or something. All right. I think we can do, we're doing good with questions. Grafton Monster, because that fucking well, we have just as much validated evidence for the Grafton Monster as we do for Bigfoot, Loch Ness, and Mothman and the Flatwoods Monster and all of that stuff. Not that I'm picking West Virginia, but they seem to have the monopoly on monsters. There's like 17,689 monsters in West Virginia alone. Trolls. Oh, that's good. Trolls. That's right. How about getting skewed by a unicorn? Again, like that's just not it's not a happy thought. It doesn't make me happy. I mean, it doesn't make me prefer one or the other. Like, I don't know. I don't want any of it. I don't want any mythical creatures getting pissed off and trying to kill me. And then, yeah, I know. You got everything. I think it's like you guys decided that, hey, every town needs a monster. And I don't know if there was a meeting and you just all decided it, but that's what it seems to me. Dying over the troll. Oh my goodness. When someone tells you that there's a troll in your town, that the monster in your town could possibly be a troll, you haven't looked at the literature. You don't know your mythology very well. And two, just shut up. Just stop talking. Tell me a troll. Oh my goodness. All right. I think I'm going to go to break. When I come back from break, we will do a giveaway. And I'm going to have a new giveaway. So I have, what do I have? I was given these things. So I was given these things the other day. They are ceramic like necklaces. And you can see they're about, well, here's a nickel. You can kind of see how big they are. There's Cosmos. There is Billions, another Carl Sagan reference there. And then that's Billions. And then extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Another attributed to Carl Sagan. So when I come back, I'm going to give one of these away. And then, so what I'm going to do is when I come back from break, I'm going to say, hey, everyone that wants one, type Sagan into the chat, and I will just take my thumb. What do you call this, Tim? Or not Tim Binga, not Tim Vickers. What do you trackball? I will take my trackball and I will go up and down and up and down and up and pick a name. So, all right, let's see. Let me get the video queued up. It's so weird. Like I'm used to talking to myself, but usually Donna's sitting over here answering me. And it's kind of weird not hearing her voice, like talking like, find your video. Come on, let's go. All right. I will be back in 4 minutes and 9 seconds from now.
something completely different.
Welcome, my fellow skeptics. Welcome, one and all. I am the chief investigator. Oh, come along, old chap. We will have a ball. Now, if you will excuse me, it's time to open the mic. Good night. Good night. Kenny Biddle's the name, investigating's my game, and I will have at it. Quid pro quo. As the head of this committee, hunting for ghosts can be shitty, but there is nothing better that I know. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and have some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. I will find the truth this night and day, and if my name is not Kenny Biddle, then I assure you here I will not stay. Good day! Kenny Biddle's the name, goes hunting's the game. I won't let anything get in my way. Too many fakers out there, too many chefs, too many toe tappers, none of it makes any sense. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? Let's open the bar and ask some questions, alright. Maybe you might find an answer or two. Who knows? There may be ghosts in the machine, but trust me, I am not so keen. I prefer to see these things clearly, not in 144p. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open night night. Yeah, yeah. I am a skeptic through and through. I question everything, don't you? If you don't think I am right, let's open night night. Yeah. If you have an answer or two, let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. Let Kenny Biddle solve it for you. The one and only Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle. Kenny
Round two. Fight. Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. I see people already saying it in the chat. All right, start typing Sagan. I'm not going to say you don't have to do it just once. You can keep doing it. Type Sagan. I'm going to give it about maybe 10 seconds to let them get in there, because I know sometimes there's like a 10-second delay. Tim Vickers had the pee so bad. So we're going to get it through, and you're going to be able to win one of these things, one of these that I'll send out to you. So I see people going in. You can keep typing it. I love that everyone's so involved. This is so nice. You guys are awesome. You make my day. You really are. All right. So I'm practicing here. I'm going up and down. That sounds dirty. And I'm going to click on somebody in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah! Wait. Who did I hit? It went by so fast. All right. Giselle L. Woohoo! Giselle L. Wait. Yeah, Giselle L. So you got one of these. Let me know which one that you want. I got the Cosmos, Billions, and the Extraordinary Claims one. So let me know which one you want, and I will ship it out. Actually, just send me an email again. I think you've given me your address before. I might be wrong on that, but give me your address in an email at, where is it? There it is. And then I will send that out to you next week. So, I got some. People are still putting it. That's awesome. Let me see. Congrats. Winner. Good. Oh, that's, you guys are so nice. Release the new bottle of Kraken. I know. Oh, okay. So I do have something. So I'm gonna play something real quick, and it might blow out your eardrums. Sorry, but here we have to do What Did I Learn Last Week? I love those little ditties. So there was a couple questions that I wrote down for homework, and I think like 2 weeks ago, because I think we had Melanie on, and then I was away last week. So one of the questions I was able to answer. The other question I haven't been able to yet. I'm starting to track it down, but Tim Binga, who is in the chat, he's actually tracking down or looking into the second question. The first question, though, that was asked was about something called Kitty J's grave. And it's supposed to be like a UK haunting kind of thing. Where's the information that I had? I did look it up. Found first mention in North Devon Journal Herald, January 23rd, 1851, page 5. So I found the article of it. I did some searching, and I was able to find the article. And it's interesting because Kitty J is a little bit more modern name. So I'm going to read you out what this says. This is the article, and this is dated January 23rd, 1851, page 5. Downloaded from the North Devon Journal Herald from Barnstaple. Am I saying that right? Barnstaple, Devon, England. So it would, in the parish of Manatton, near, oh my God, these names are killing me, near Whitacombe, on the moor, while some men in the employ of James Bryant, Esquire, of Prospect, at his seat, Hedge Barton, were removing some accumulations of waste soil. A few days since, they discovered what appeared to be a grave. Further investigation, they found the skeleton of a body, which proved from inquiry to be the remains of Anne Jane. Sorry. I don't know why I tried to say Anne. Anne Jane, a woman who hung herself some 3 generations since in a barn at a place called Fordor, and was buried at Four Cross Lane, according to the custom of the Enlightened Age. And that was the original article. And the more I read about it, the more I learned that the name over time has changed, because it's appeared in different publications and different books over the last. This was 1851, so 200 and a lot over the last 2 centuries. So let's see. I mean, this was the same stuff. So I know it was like, it started out as Ann J, and then it became just J, or Annie J, and then I think there was a different name in there, and then finally it came down to Kitty J. I don't know where that came from. It was, again, different authors changed the name and didn't fully do their research, just knew that there was a body there. And even this, I'm not done with this because now I'm interested in this a little bit, because it looks like it was 3 generations prior to them actually finding the body that this event took place. But in modern times, nobody knew, because I think they redug the grave later and nobody was aware of anything that happened. They couldn't figure out who it was. So I just wanted to tell you that I did look it up. I forget who mentioned that in the chat, but it came up and I was like, oh, that's a cool kind of story. You know, it's especially because the name has changed over time, which is a good indication that nobody really knew. So the flowers, let's say the skeleton of a body implies the existence of the body of a skeleton. Imagine them finding the body in skeleton, having to track that down. Yeah. So the flowers that were there, oh man, I did read up on that, and as best I could find, it was locals that were doing it. Locals, and then people that would visit, almost as tourists. I don't like. I feel weird saying that, but people would come by knowing of the story, and they would come and put flowers down. And plus the people that own the property, because it goes into, it's a road, there's property right next to it. They would do it too. So as far as I know, it was tourists and local people, especially the owner of the property adjacent to the grave, that were doing it. And it's not something that's all the time. I think that's, I'm not saying you're asking this or saying this, but I think it's exaggerated how often the flowers arrive, because the pictures that I saw, they were not fresh flowers. They were just kind of thrown there, or just, laid there, but not something that was fresh, not in a vase, not in like planted or anything like that. They were kind of just laid there, and had been there for some time. So that's all I got right now. Like I said, I am interested in this, and I'm kind of like, oh, let me, I'm going to put that in the back of my mind. I printed this out. I actually started a file in my file cabinet so I can look into it a little bit more. Who else we got? Oh, Laura Jordan, carburetors and coffee. Hey, buddy, what's up? Good to see you. Raw Side Paranormal. Good to see you too. Jay Menice. Oh, I always screw up your name too. Menice. I don't know, or Menace. I'm not sure which one it is. All right. Alyssa. Hello. Carl. Hello. The program I watched said that flowers were brought every day. I couldn't find anything that actually said that. So if you have a link to whatever program that you saw, please send it to me so I can watch it, get a better idea of what they're talking about. Because there's stuff like I hear about kind of phantom. I don't know if you would call them phantom florists, that where flowers appear on someone's grave and nobody knows how. I think Edgar Allan Poe, isn't there a rose, or a specific type of flower that allegedly appears on his grave on his birthday or something like that? I don't know the whole story. I'm probably butchering it, but I think there is some kind of specific flower that someone puts there and nobody knows who it is. So, I mean, if I can find some story that reports on that, that'd be great. But as far as I know, it's just been locals and then tourists. So there you go. All right, we can get some questions now. Wayne, hello, Wayne. I like that you have a drink in your profile. I feel like toasting every time I see you come up. Is there any cryptids you'd like to investigate other than Bigfoot? So let's see. I've looked into. Well, I mean, I haven't investigated much myself. We did the Flatwoods Monster. I was down there with Daniel Reed looking into that. The Grafton Monster, went through that with Daniel too. Mothman. I mean, I've been to the town, and actually Daniel and Tim Vickers we looked through the sites where the original witnesses were. So I've done all that stuff. Bigfoot, I've been out for that a couple times. I would love to go for a lake monster. I have not done a lake monster investigation. I mean, Ben Radford, who was in the chat earlier, I don't know if he still is. He's done a couple. I know he did like Ogopogo. He did Loch Ness. And I would love to be able to take part in one of those. Yeah, I guess so. What else? Is there any other cryptids? There's really no other, like, no, I'm not thinking of anything else. I mean, a lake monster would be interesting. And I think Ogopogo is not far. Not too far. I mean, it's definitely like 8-9 hours away, but I mean, that's doable. So I might, one of these times I might go up and visit the lake, Lake Ogopogo, I think it is. And figure out, like, do the tourist thing and then walk around, see if I can get any pictures and match up some things. I don't know. But I mean, like, a lot of that stuff's been done. That's why I'm not actively looking for things with cryptids, because a lot of these places have, or like, at least with cryptids and lake monsters, they've already been thoroughly investigated. The reason I go more for the haunted houses and stuff like that is because a lot of these have not been thoroughly investigated. Many have been more or less, they get rumors and people just keep the rumors going. They keep stirring the pot in order to make it seem like there's something there. Is British Columbia. You were thinking Champ. Thank you, Kat. Yes, you're right. Champ. I'm thinking Lake Champlain is not far. That's the one. So yeah, I think a lot of the haunted locations just do not get a proper investigation. Not that I'm like the B end or the be all end all. Is that how you say it? Of what investigating is, but I see a lot of amateur groups going in and just, keeping the fear alive, keeping the rumors alive, keeping the stories alive, and not really investigating the claims. So that's why I keep doing that. So, all right, cool. What else we got? Mysteries Untold. Have you ever noticed that every single state pretty much has a story about either a phantom appearing in the form of a lady in white or black? I've learned that while doing, so many places have a lady in white. A lady in white is just common. I mean, that's probably one of the most common stories you're going to hear. There's a lady in a white in cemeteries and bridges and highways and roads and front lawns, back lawns, they're all over the place. And then you also have like a close second, probably not a close second, but you have like a hitchhiker story, the phantom hitchhiker that girl was killed on prom night and this and that. And she was in a car accident and some guy picks her up because he sees a hitchhiker, takes her home, and then he comes back the next day looking for her. And the mom's like, oh my God, she died years ago. And, this and that. So there's that. Lots of places have gravity hills. Lots of places have crybaby bridges. That's another common one. And so there's a lot of common stories. I hear more lady in white than I do lady in black. Once in a great while, I hear about someone all in black, which usually represents mourning. And ironically, that was a story that I heard last weekend at the Hanover Tavern. It came up. Somebody claimed to have seen a woman wearing a Victorian style black mourning dress. But I will say that I did meet the woman, the young lady that had that experience. And she was telling me relating the story, I think like 12 years later, because she was only like 13 or 14 at the time. And she is now like 26 years old or 24 years old, something like that. And she's remembering. I mean, that's a long time ago to remember. So I wasn't really expecting too much accuracy. And also the fact that she saw, her words were, I saw it out of the corner of my eye, which when I questioned further, it kind of changed a little bit as I was asking more questions. But the original impression was that she only caught some movement out of the corner, and then by the time she looked at it, it was gone. So I don't put too much weight to that story. But yeah, I think the more you research, the more you're gonna find there's a lot of common themes throughout some of these ghost stories. There's always going to be your common, like, footsteps down the hall or down the stairs. You're going to hear things are going to move around, and when people go to check the room, like, everything's quiet. There's tons of common stories like that. So good question. All right, moving on. Oh, I thought Tim had to pee again. Oh, he's like, damn it. Hey, Steph, what would it take for you to actually believe without a doubt that you had contact with a ghost or spirit? I would say, and this is just off the top of my head, it might change according to, like, what scenarios are played out, because we're talking hypothetical here. But I would love someone like Houdini to just show up, like Houdini just to appear here and say, hey. And side note, if Houdini did appear here, this show would be so much more awesome. Excuse me. Ooh, I burped. But yeah, be able to sit here or float, that would be even better. It'd probably be unnerving if he was just floating here and I'm talking to him. I'd have to stand up because, like, I don't want to sit while someone's floating. But I would have a conversation with him, ask him some questions. And I think if I could hear his voice, or however that would be communicating. And then I also, I mean, I have an array of cameras here, which I would turn on, especially if this was going. That would be great. But I'd also call people, and like Tim Binga, who's watching, I'd be like, Tim, drive here now. I need you to drive here right now and take a look. I'd call Eric behind the wall, say, you need to get here because I need witnesses. And I would call my boss, Barry, and be like, hey, yeah, guess what? you're gonna think this is kind of weird, but I need you to come to the office. And I think that would help, because just by myself, I wouldn't be sure if I was hallucinating or something else was going on. I checks and balances. You have to have redundancy. You have to have other witnesses. You have to have. I'd have all the video equipment going, and of course I would be talking to him, going, "All right, can you just hold on a second? Let me set stuff up. I gotta. This is a video camera. I know you don't know what this is, but I'm going to show you. And you want to look at the screen? Look at this screen. You can see everything, and it'd be fun." And I'd show him all the books that I have from him, and maybe get an autograph or two, because that would be awesome. So that's I think that's it in a nutshell for now. Again, like, this is a hypothetical situation, so I can't really say for sure what it would take or how the situation would play out, because I think doubt would be the first thing, and it would be self-doubt. It would be like, am I really seeing this? What am I looking at? And asking questions out loud to work through the situation to see if it's really happening. So I hope that answered your question. I hope. I got sidetracked chatting in the comments. I hear you. I know there's so many conversations that go on. I want to look, and I keep it up there just in case something pops up or there's trouble. I want to be able to be aware of it, but I try not to follow the conversations because I get distracted. Has Tim Bing cataloged your books behind you yet? Teach it forward. So funny you should say that. He was actually bringing that up. He brought that up as an idea, and I don't know if it was a joke or not. But we talked about it a couple times where it's pretty much these books are not leaving. So I will be dead and these books will still be here. So the thought was that if he gets time, he was going to come in here and catalog all of the books that I have, and it would be my own collection. So when you looked it up on like CFI libraries, it would say like the KB collection, and it would still be here, and it'd still be mine until, I pass off, because, Donna's not going to move all these books, and I don't think Donna wants any of these books because there's nothing here that she would want. And I think the skeptical community, the scientific community, would benefit from some of the stuff that I have here. So I would definitely do that. Oh, look, I got a new member. Malachi is a new member. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the behind the scenes stuff. So awesome. Beardo has competition with your beard. I think you should rename yourself Kenny Beardo. Beardle. So I don't know how this is going to stay for a while. This is the longest I've ever had it, to be honest. I mean, I usually it's gone well before this, but it's so cold up here, and I've gotten past the itchy stage. So guys that have a beard, you probably remember this. Like, I would get to that itchy stage where it was like constantly itching, and I was like, oh, I hate it. Shave it off. Gone. But I powered through. I got some advice from other guys that have beards, and I got some beard oil, and now I went through it, and it's great. Now it's nice. It's soft, and I touch it. I don't know if you've noticed, like, I sit here and do this a lot because I'm so not used to having a hairy chin that I'm like, there's a lot of hair. This hair is longer than what's on my head. Never go back to the baby face. Oh, shush, John without an H. I sometimes I like the baby. When I feel old, I like going back to my youth. I can go back a couple years by a quick shave. Ooh. She likes it. She does. Mikey. Hey, Mikey. He likes it. Yeah, because I asked her the other day. I was like, do you like it? Because I was going back. I was trying to trim it, trying to figure out how to do it, because I never had a beard like this. So I don't know how to take care of it. So, but I asked her, like, do you like it? And she's like, yeah, I like it. So I'm like, all right, cool. Then I definitely will keep it, at least for the foreseeable future. I think it makes me look smart, smarter than I am. Hey, Dan Webster. Do you think the ability to telecommunicate would be paranormal? Do you think animals can telecommunicate? Telecommunicate. Let me make sure I know what that means. The verb that means send or receive information over a distance using electronic means. Do you think the ability to telecommunicate? I mean, are you asking about just animals? Because I don't think that all these gadgets and the recorders and the broken radios and the piece of shit DR60, especially, I don't think any of them are talking to ghosts or recording ghost voices. Well, I mean, first and foremost, ghosts have not been proven to exist. That's hurdle number one. Has to be what is it? Jumped over? You have to clear hurdle number one in order for me to accept or consider hurdle number two, which may be communication. Because as far as I know, and in the cases that I've worked on, a lot of these alleged EVPs are nothing more than friction noises or other people talking, and then just daily noises or regular noises in the environment. So I don't see anything that would tell me that it's a it's communication from some unknown entity. There's a lot of pareidolia going on. There's a lot of priming going on. There's a lot of issues with collection of that specific data that's going on. So I don't think that anything intelligent or any communication at all from a spirit and or ghost is coming through electronic devices. When it comes to animals, there's no evidence of that either. There's none. We have to keep in mind that dogs and cats have a wider range of hearing than us. So, and they also have a different attention span, or their attention is drawn to different things. So we can't just say, well, a dog staring at a wall, that means he's probably looking at a ghost, or he's hearing a ghost, or he's hearing phantom noises. That's not something that we can say because we don't actually know what it's hearing, or what it's paying attention to. It might not be hearing anything. It might be seeing something like a fly or an insect that's on the wall that we're not paying attention to. There's too many variables that we don't know about. So until we narrow them down, then we'll have a conclusion. Once we narrow them down to something specific, then we'll know what the cause is. But no, I don't think animals, I don't see any evidence that animals can communicate with spirits, because again, we have that first hurdle to get over. And until we do that, everything else is on the back burner. So good question though. I like that. Heart investigation. You people have a lot of heart. Do you have a new case you're looking into investigating right now? I always have cases that I'm investigating. I once in a while I show. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. That whiteboard, that's got 17 projects, and then out of the 17 projects, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What does that one say? Items. Oh, yeah. I would say like 7 are. Oh, I'm blurry. 7 are investigations, and there's one currently that I'm working on, the Monroe House. That's the video that I've been working on all week, and I still have more to do. So I might be working on that this weekend into next week, just to get things together, because it's a collage of different claims, and I'm trying to keep it under an hour because that's what my boss wants, under an hour. He actually would prefer it be like 20 minutes or so, and I'm like, that's never going to happen. I am never going to put a 20-minute full video out. That just doesn't happen. I mean, TikTok's the only time I do that, and that's even that I push like 5-6 minutes instead of like the 2 or 3 that they do. But so yeah, that there's constantly things going on. Like I said, the Monroe House is my priority right now. There's another one that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to give a certain person a heads up of what I'm doing. So I've been working on that for a while, but I have to make a trip. I have to do a trip for that one. And then what else do I have? Oh, there's one that I've been working on that is I'm still waiting for Beardo, because we're supposed to do something on the house in between. We're supposed to do a video on that, a breakdown, because I have a lot of experiments that I did with some of that shit, and I want to talk about it. And then there was a Reader's Digest article that was referenced by a psychic, ironically, because the article was 20 times, 20 times psychic solved cases, like murder cases, missing person cases. And so we split it up, and I have 10 that I went through. For the most part, preliminary, I did 10, and I can tell you that they didn't. the psychics did not solve those cases, and it pisses me off that they get credit for doing it when they didn't. So that's what I'm doing for now. So hopefully that answered your question. Carl, what was your first video you filmed in your office? Let me see here. I'm going through I'm currently looking at the Skeptical Inquirer page at what I have here. And let's see, what is that? That's Peaking Figures, Columbus Poltergeist, New York Times, Ghosts, Energy. So I think the first video was my Columbus Poltergeist video where I revisited the Columbus Poltergeist from, I believe it was the 70s or 80s. And I recreated some of the stuff that happened in that poltergeist, and I addressed some of the concerns. But it's one that I really want to get back to because there were some questions brought up about my experiments, and I want to address them, mostly from people in the parapsychology field that believe that it was a real poltergeist. And I think it was actually just a teenager that was screwing up. And in fact, she was caught faking something. So that kind of killed all her credibility. But there's other things, other claims during that poltergeist that I want to try to recreate and demonstrate. Or really, there's some that I want to recreate that I didn't before. And there's at least one that I want to recreate closer to the actual account than I did in this video. So there you go. All right. Good. Wayne, I thought acupuncture released natural endorphins in the body. I don't know. I had it done years ago. I had it done, and it did nothing. Nothing at all. And as they were doing it, they were telling me like, oh, you should feel this, you should feel relief here, you should, and absolutely nothing. And the literature, the scientific literature, as far as I know, doesn't show, I may be wrong on that, on this part, what you're getting at, that it releases endorphins in the body. It may do that on certain things. And so it might be more of a temporary relief, because it's causing a chemical reaction in your body, a physiological change that masks the pain that you're feeling. I do the same thing all the time. Don't worry about it. But it's again, it's not a fix. It is more like a Band-Aid, like a very pointy Band-Aid that doesn't really help. Endorphins. I'm sorry, Wayne. I didn't mean to make fun of you. It's just like I'm gonna read this out phonetically. Let me take the that banner off. There we go. Did you know that Newsweek has a site dedicated to recent paranormal news? Oh, Jesus. Fuck, man. What the hell? Seriously? Newsweek? Stop doing that. Just stop. Stop glorifying it. It's not that great. Hey, the Side-Eye guy's here. Hey, what's up, man? Seg. Seg's supposed to be coming to the States in the next few months or something like that. That'll be good. We're going to cause some trouble. I hope. All right. What else we got? 139. This night's going by fast. Does a lady in white supposedly represent a tragedy? That's a good question. Let's look that up. What does a lady in white signify? Lady in white is a type of female ghost. She is typically dressed in a white dress or similar garment, reportedly seen in rural areas and associated with local legends of tragedy. Okay, you're on there, which does make sense, because in most cases that I can think of, it's always like they die too early, they were in some kind of accident. So yeah, I even wrote, I did a ghost story book. I wrote about local ghost stories like years ago in the Lehigh Valley of Pennsylvania, and there was a lady in white at a cemetery. I forget which one. It's been so long. It's been, but yeah, you're on it. You're on there. That's you're on the right track to say, yeah. Um, Tragedy. Wow, poor girls. Always dressing in white. Like you can't have jeans, you know, a hoodie, something like jammies. Mister's untold. Oh, what was that? I lost it. All right, never mind. Uh, what else we got? I love the shirt. Science. A bride lost her life or something. Yeah, it's always something like that. His wife died. That's what I was thinking. Like I don't know what's that. What's that Was it a commercial with the guy in the jail? And he's like, "You're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day." Oh man, white goes with everything. I don't wear white. Like even when I have white T-shirts, the only time I wear a white T-shirt is when I'm working in the garage or something like that. Because it's like I'm not. They get. I'm always a hands-on kind of person. Like and white T-shirts always get dirty. Like the minute I put it on, something dumb happens and it's dirty, and like you can see it because it's a white T-shirt. So I don't usually wear white, and I only wear black when I'm not on a paranormal event, like a ghost hunt or any kind of paranormal event. I don't wear black T-shirts during those events. Because I don't want to be part of the bowling team. Because you notice, like, it was funny. Dave Schumacher, we're at the ghost hunt. So Saturday night down at the Hanover Tavern, where we were last weekend, we're done the whole Paracon thing, and we packed up everything. 9:00. It's the ghost hunt where they go around, and we really wanted to go. We didn't end up going because it was just too late, and they were going to go for 5 hours. And again, they're starting at 9 p.m. And I was like, "There's no way. I'm tired." But Dave looks around the room and he's like, "I've never been in a place with so many black T-shirts," because they were all wearing black T-shirts, and it was funny. I mean, I found it funny. I only wear darks so I can wash them all at once. Oh man. Let's see. All right. Kibber Sullivan. Hey there. Were you a fan of Josh Gates? Destiny Truth did a lot of cryptic investigation. So I it's a love-hate relationship. So I know, like, Ben Radford, my editor, he's worked with Josh. He's been on like at least two shows that I know of. And it could be more, especially when it comes to the Chupacabra, because Ben is like the foremost expert on the Chupacabra. But I watch the shows because I like the adventure. I like the history that they provide. I don't like the overhype kind of stuff. Like they're always like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. We're almost there," and they really don't get shit for the most part. Or it's just like anticlimactic, except for when he was doing, like, there was one episode where he was following it was like a puzzle. Somebody wrote a book that had puzzles, and if you figured out the puzzle and the geographical locations and the clues, it led to a box that had a key in it, and then that key would get you a jewel that was in the painting. It was a big story kind of thing, and it really cool. And I know they did an episode or two on that, and I thought that was fascinating. But yeah, I'm not like, there's so much overhype of some of the stuff that I don't watch it. Really, if it's on, I watch it, and watch the history until I can't take the embellishment stuff like that. And I'm saying that I'm not saying he's lying or he's creating more to the story. It's just like, like when you go to commercial and they're always like, "Dude, what's that?" And they cut the commercial. Like, I feel like Josh Gates does that a lot more with his show. And I don't like that kind of TV. So, but otherwise, I think he's a nice guy. Have you heard of the Hatman phenomenon? The Hatman, the Hatman. I think is this let me see. Hatman. Fictional figure, an urban legend that appears in people's dreams and sleep paralysis. He's often described as a tall, dark figure wearing a fedora and trench coat. So I know that this was in, this was part of a found footage film that Eric Christopher Myers did years ago, where the Hatman would appear at the end of a tunnel, and then follow you. And he was called like the Blink Man, I think. I think he was called Blink Man or the Hat Man. So I know have heard of this legend. I mean, that's what it is. It's an urban legend, kind of like Slender Man and stuff like that. Well, it's a lot less than Slender Man because Slender Man had very dire consequences for it. But yeah, let me see. Let's see. Hatman first appeared on the internet sites in early 2000s. He's been associated with the abuse of mind-altering substances, especially Benadryl. Oh, I did not know that. Some say he's a form of evil demon, like who isn't anymore, sent from the underworld. Others say he's a subconscious reworking of figures from pop culture, like Freddy Krueger from Nightmare. I can see that. I could definitely see that. I'll have to see, like when we go to our next break into hour 3, because you know damn well we're going into hour 3 tonight. I will run over to the stairwell where I have some of my paintings, and I will show you the painting that I did. That it's a Hatman. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So let me see, Eric Christopher. I forget the let me see, film director. The movie that he did, Butterfly Kisses. That's the movie. So if you look up Butterfly Kisses from Eric Christopher Myers, it was done in 2018. It has a figure like that. And I was away. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina on business. I was on a business trip for training, and I was down there, and I loved the film. I thought it was kind of cool. And I bought a canvas because I like to paint once in a while. So I had a canvas. I had a canvas with me, I think. And I painted, and I did like a nice railroad tunnel scene, and with a Hatman down. So the Muffin Man. I know that's what I said. Like the Hatman, the Hatman. Mm. Oh, I love rum. What are your thoughts on moving statues? Do they take batteries, or you have to plug them in? I don't think statues move. By definition, unless you have mechanics in them, mechanical apparatus or something like that, they're not going to move. The idea, I mean, are we talking like Doctor Who type statues that move when you blink or when you close your eyes and stuff like that? Yeah, there you go. Don't close your eyes or look away. Hey, Bob Christopher's in the house. What's up, buddy? So yeah, I don't buy into that idea. It's more or less just something from TV. And that's really, I mean, I don't know if there's an urban legend out there about moving statues. I know there's a few stories out there, but like a accepted, how do I want to say it? Like standard urban legend of moving statues. I don't know if there is one, except for the stories here and there. Spotted the weeping woman of Parkersburg. What is that? Let's see. Weeping woman of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Because they have everything. Bastards. It's like a monopoly. Monopoly of, oh, well, that's interesting. Weeping woman. Melancholy guardian doubles as a judicious godmother to this small town cemetery. That looks kind of cool. We have a couple of them. Well, not we. Everything but fast internet. Let me share this so you can see what I'm looking at. Dun, 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 window, boom, boom. There you go. The Weeping Woman. I know there's a big cemetery in Philly that has a similar setup here, similar to this. Actually, no. You know what? It's not similar to this. What I'm thinking of, there is a monument in the cemetery where it's like a crypt, and the top is coming up, and there's a woman's head, and her arm is coming out, like she's trying to climb out of it. It's kind of cool. I like it. That's what I'm thinking about. All right, that's cool. All right, yeah, we got time for another question or two before we go to second break. Oh, we played Tim Vickers' song. What is unintentional blindness? So that is basically when you're so focused on a task at hand or something that you're used to in a routine. You're so used to a certain routine that you are blind to things that or new things that might enter the picture. Say like one example that I use for myself is that when you're pulling out of a driveway from like a shopping center or something like that, most people tend to look for cars and they don't notice. And this is not for everyone, but some people don't notice motorcycles or a bicycle because they're looking for vehicles. They're looking for cars or trucks because that's what they see the most. And also, the invisible gorilla is a very good example of that, and also is like that's the book. If you get the book, The Invisible Gorilla, that explains everything. And that's basically, there's a video, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you've seen some kind of version of it, even in passing. But you have a bunch of people in black and white t-shirts, like black shirts, and then other people have white t-shirts, and they're passing basketballs or something like that. And you're told to count how many times the people with the black t-shirts pass the ball. And when this was tested, people count it, and they usually got it right. Some still got it wrong, like how many passes there were. But almost everyone, or the majority of people, didn't see a person that was in a gorilla costume walk into the scene, into the middle, do this, and then walk out the other side. They completely missed it. And that's because they were paying attention to the task at hand and not looking for anything else. That's something that came up. Oh my gosh, when I took my motorcycle training course to get my license, like that's something they talked about during the class, because they're like, be careful. People don't look for you. They don't look for your motorcycle because they're looking for cars. And especially if the street has parked cars on the side, then they have a higher chance of not seeing you. So it was pretty cool. I mean, the first time I saw the video, with the gorilla costume, I didn't see it. I totally missed it. Oh yeah, I was convinced it was two separate videos. I know, I did the same thing. I went back. I'm like, there's no freaking way I missed that. Like it's just so. We're gonna play it. I got a visible gorilla experiment. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, we got to get so first. Woo. All right. So we're going to play. It's about a minute long, a minute and 20 seconds. So we're going to play that, and then we'll go to break. So let me see here. Share screen. Window. This one. Here we go. All right. Oh, did I share the audio? Let me make sure, because I want to make sure you hear it. Share audio, share the tab or screen. Oh, share the tab. Invisible gorilla. Share audio. Okay, so we should be good. Here we go, people. Pay attention.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
Make sure you count.
How many passes did you count? The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla? This video is from research by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris, and
That's awesome. I love that. How do I stop it now? Oh, there it is. Button moved. So the gorilla was another color. That I don't know. But I thought it was really good. And when I saw that video, I was like, I gotta see it. I gotta learn more about this. And I was able to. Let's see. Oh, there it is. So there's the book. That's the original. I think there's a newer, updated book with a different cover and stuff. But I was able, not only did I get this and read this, I loved it, but I was able to meet one of the authors at SciCon. So I was able to get him to autograph it, which is great. I love that kind of stuff. So it's a really good book. It's on my recommended reading list. And I think it's important because you don't realize how much you don't notice when you're looking at scenes or not paying attention to what you're doing, or even paying attention to what you're doing, but paying too much attention. And when you're focused on a task at hand and how much you miss. That's why, I don't know why I'm burping so much. Whew, what is in this rum? It's why I question people that are so focused on something, like when they're cleaning up, like ghost hunting teams. I'm going to pick on you guys. I'm not being mean, but when they say they're setting up equipment or they're tearing it down and put it away, and they're not paying attention to the thing around them because they're focused on getting things together or making sure the cameras work and everything does that, and then something happens that they claim is an experience, a paranormal experience. But when you start asking questions to clarify what happened, they can't give you details because they weren't paying attention. Maybe it was a noise or something like that that grabbed their attention, that broke them out of their focus. But for the other details that they should have been paying attention to, if they were, investigating that at the time, they just don't have. So it's difficult when people are like, well, I was doing this and doing that, and then all of a sudden this happened. And like, for example, the Hanover Tavern Victorian ghost with the black dress. Like, the young lady said she saw it out of the corner of her eye. She wasn't paying attention to that. It was just movement that caught her attention. And by the time she looked, it was gone. So was she paying attention? No. Does she have all the detail? No. Am I saying she's lying? No. It's just, that's not an intentional blindness, but I'm just talking at my ass right now. We are at the 2-hour mark. Only focused on what is in front of the camera. Only sound, audio. Yeah, only a fraction of the environment. Yeah, I mean, when you look, anywhere you look, your actual area of focus is only about the size of a quarter. So everything else is peripheral. When you're looking, like I'm looking at the camera right now, which is about the size of a dime on my webcam there. And that's what I'm focused on. Like, I can see there's a little protector, like a cover around it, but everything else I'm not focused on. When you're watching TV, you're always looking at one point on that screen. You're not looking at the entire screen. So you're not getting all the data. Yeah, you're not getting all the data. It's there. You can see it. You can get the information, but you're getting it kind of secondhand. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the right way to explain it. Did you have Ted's hot dogs tonight, Kenny? I did not. I've been there once. It's okay. I don't think it's great. And it was just expensive when we went. The toppings are good, and we like Don and I ate there, and it was like, it's all right, but not really worth going back. But with that, yeah, I'm gonna play Tim's song. I love playing this song. We don't get to hear it a lot. So let's see, Tim. I gotta look for it. There it is. All right, so we will be back in 2 minutes and 4 seconds from now.
Tim Vickers is his name. Moderating is the game. Pinch hitting while time is away. He's a tortured soul with a single goal to keep the chat trolls at bay. Let's the show go into hour 3 or 4. But if you really will show you the door. You've been figured. You've been figured. You've been figured. You've been figured. Tim loves physics, history, animals, and a good mystery. Misconceptions he loves to slay. He's an easygoing chap, comfortable in a tiara or a cat. Cat skeptical talks all day. Let the show go into hour 3 or 4. But if you really will show you the door. You've been figured. You've been figured so long. You've been figured. You've been figured. Let the show go into hour 3 or 4. But if you really will show you the door. You've been figured. You've been figured so long. You've been figured. You've been figured.
You've been Vickard. I love that. That's so much fun. Oh my gosh. Woo. All right. Let me see. I see Giselle has sent me an email, and I actually am unsure what. Oh, you don't know what you won. Oh, so Giselle, that's okay. So you won one of these. So these are necklaces, ceramic necklaces that are made. You can pick one: Cosmos, Billions, or Extraordinary Claims Requires Extraordinary Evidence. So there you go. Hope that cleared it up. Who's the poor fella going through the door? I don't know. I found that on a site. Like, I just thought it was funny. Someone coming through, because I can see like Tim doing that. Human Vickard, get the fuck out. Alrighty. Who was Harry's influence in magic? You mean? I think you mean magic. So I know that he took. Oh my God, it's been a while since I did this, but I know there was Houdini. There was a magician named Houdini that he took inspiration for his name Houdini. Because Harry Houdini was not his real name. That was his stage name. And he took inspiration from Houdini. I know there were several magicians that he took inspiration from and learned from. And I know that he worked in a locksmith shop when he was younger, which is kind of Robert Houdin. Thank you, Daniel. It was what gave him the first clues of being a escape artist, because he had a curiosity about how locks work and just like what he could do, how to figure out all the locks and the inner workings and stuff like that. And I haven't done it yet, but I have my own lockpick tool set because I wanted to learn like how to do that. I wanted to. Oh, what's that? Just to get an idea, but it's not as easy as you think. I don't have the skill yet, but then again, I don't really practice. So, but I hope that answered your question, because getting into the history, like I'd love to do a video just on that. Maybe that's something I'm going to put together, just like Houdini's life and work with exposing psychics and the people that he made friends with. Like I know the Davenport brothers. He talked to them, who were pretty famous for doing like spirit cabinets and stuff like that, but never claimed to be psychics. They were just magicians, putting on a show. And I know he talked to several psychics, and not just exposing psychics or mediums. He actually talked to a few that to learn their tricks and stuff like that. So good question though. Panda Kaizen. Panda Kaizen? Am I saying that right? Panda Kaizen? Why do so many ghosts seem to be stuck in Victorian fashion or basic nightgowns, robes? Why no ghosties wearing leisure suits or jeans and sneakers or something like that? So there are stories that do get into that. Yes, Jeff AF, I do watch The Lockpicking Lawyer. I do. I like that channel. So there are stories about seeing figures like teenagers, usually in like jeans and sneakers and stuff like that. But you're right, the popular stories, and I think that the thing is like even behind me, like you see, like there's the Hans Holzer ghost book, but all that shelf, this shelf, they're all ghost stories, like regional ghost stories, and they're all written. Most of them are from like the 70s on up, and you have this. I guess the theme was Victorian. You know, it was easier just to say it was Victorian dress because many of the places were from around that time. So it would be best to blame, I guess for lack of a better word, blame a ghost that was from that era and go from there. And it was just, I mean, it's pronounced it just fine. Yes, take that, Tim Vickers. And I think that's just the norm. Like I grew up with those stories, so I've heard them stories over and over again. So to me, and maybe to a lot of you, ghosts wearing Victorian garb is normal. Like that is a common thing. And then we get into more modern stories that go away from that, and we hear some kids wear, you know, some ghosts are kids and they're teenagers or 20 somethings that wear jeans. Haven't seen any in leisure suits. I got to admit, I do not think I've come across any ghost story about a leisure suit ghost, which would be interesting. That would be really, really interesting. But I think there's like when you go through the 70s and very early 80s, like you see things like Amityville, the entity. Yeah, Amityville, entity, those kind of movies that were coming out, and the stories were based in the 70s, and you didn't have really ghosts of people per se. You had the demonic forces and stuff. So a lot of the stuff was invisible. So, and when you did see it, it was really bad special effects and more of like a creature. Like the entity had all the lights and stuff, and it was more along the lines of the Ghostbusters special effects at the time. Like when the firehouse blows up and you all the streams and stuff, like that kind of special effects that came out. So it wasn't really figures per se. It was lights and dark creatures and invisible entities. So interesting though. Very interesting to think about. Like, yeah, why don't we see leisure suits? Why don't we see like I want to see a guy in a nice dapper suit with a hat, bowler hat. New game idea. Leisure Suit Larry in the afterlife. Nice. That's funny. Was there a specific event that turned you skeptical? Yes, my Gettysburg experience was really the turning point. I mean, I had started looking into photography more, and I started getting involved in photography, doing little jobs here and there where I was doing like family portraits and weddings and product photography and stuff like that. So I was getting experience and realizing that so many of the alleged photographs people were presenting as ghosts were in fact not. And they were more operator error and misinterpretation of what they were getting. But it wasn't until my Gettysburg experience during a conference that I was mistaken for a ghost. And I've told this many times, so I'm not going to go into the full story just because I don't want to. I'm sure everyone's heard this so many times. I'm going to put the link to the article as soon as I find it because I wrote an article about it. It was one of my first ones when I got here that I wrote about the origin story. So basically, I was mistaken for a ghost, and even though I confronted the team and gave information, it didn't compute. Like they weren't accepting it, and they refused to believe that it was me. And that really set me off because I was like, well, I'm giving you information, you're not listening to me. And that made me start thinking about what I do and how I approach things, and was I doing the same thing at times? And I'm pretty sure I was. I ignored facts because I wanted to believe what I wanted to believe. So that got me onto the more skeptical side of things. And I started looking up the literature from skeptical organizations like this one and Skeptical Inquirer. And I was like, yeah, there you go. I'm learning more. So, oh, by the way, new issue is out. There's the new issue. That's the cover. Speaking of which, look, Houdini. There he is, right there. So, all right, cool. I'm trying to find that article, and I don't know where it is. I'll find it. Carl, do you know when the word paranormal was originally used in literature? So that's often something that we can look up pretty quick. We can look up, let's see, paranormal. When was the term paranormal coined? Let's see what the great and powerful Google says. The term paranormal was first used in the early 1900s. The Oxford English Dictionary cites a 1905 translation by L.I. Finch as the earliest known use of the word. The word paranormal is made up of the words para and normal. Para means beyond or beside or alongside. In Greek, the term describes things that are outside the normal experience. So let's see. Etymology. I'm looking to see if there's 1900, 1905 translation. That's interesting. All right, from 1905 and a translation by that. Yeah, but it doesn't give me the, etymology. I do not want an account. I hate when it's behind a paywall. I'll have to look it up. Let me see. Origin of paranormal term. Okay. When coined. Okay, so that'll be my homework for next week. But good question. I'm going to look into it a little bit more and see if I can find a better definition, or if anyone's got a subscription to Oxford Dictionary. No, I'll find a different way. There's always a workaround. Always. All right. Do you ever have to sign an NDA in your investigations? So my standard rule is if I have to sign one, no, I'm not going to sign one. Because I'm not going to I'm not going to restrict myself. I mean, the purpose of me investigating is, one, to figure out what the hell is going on, and two, to report on it. So that's part of my job. So I'm going to either write an article or produce a video on it. And if I sign an NDA, then that means that I either can't speak of it or it gives the other person control over what I do. And that's absolutely not going to happen. So if I'm staying at a place, excuse me, if I'm going to stay at a place, if I'm booked for a place, I will look into it beforehand. And if it's just a standard release, that's fine, because that's, you pretty much, anytime you stay at a hotel, you sign a release for if you screw up, you know, not for any like neglect that on the hotel's part, but I'll sign a release. That's cool. And I will take a copy of it. But if they tell me that I have to sign an NDA in order to stay there, then I will stop payment on my credit card and say, no, I'm not staying. That's not the deal here. So no, I will not do that. Because yeah, I mean, it's part of my job. I'm not going to waste money if I, and like renting a place so I can investigate it, but I'm not allowed to talk about what happened unless they approve it. Like, no. That's why I wasn't going to go to the Conjuring house, because they wanted to review everything, and you weren't allowed to post anything until they reviewed it and gave you permission. Fuck you. No, that's not going to happen. My shit is my shit. And I'm not getting mad at you for asking a question. I want to make that clear. But no, that's why I took the tour during the day, because there was no restriction on that. I could do whatever I wanted. A ghost was always viewed as covered in a sheet, probably because the dead were covered in shrouds. So we did talk about that a few shows ago. The reason why ghosts first appeared as like a figure with a sheet over them was because they were buried in bed sheets. For the most part, unless you were well off, you could not afford a vault or a coffin. And most people were buried literally in their bed sheets. So the sheets that were on their bed at the time they expired is what they were wrapped up in. Knots were tied at either end, and then they were placed in the ground. And that was it. So the thought of the dead coming back meant that they came back in the sheet, because that's what they had. So, because that came up a while ago, and it was interesting. It was like, why is that? I don't know. I never looked that up. Let me look it up. So, and that's what I came up with. So, good question though. Good question. Crystal, hey, what was your scariest, strangest investigation? Strangest or scariest? I don't think any of them were scary. They weren't scary. I did freak myself out, I will say, because Donna's probably watching it if she's still up and going, oh, there was a time you were scared. And that was at Fort Mifflin in Philadelphia. It was during my ghost hunting days. And I still thought, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, I still thought orbs were a thing. And I was watching one in front of me with night vision scope and passing it off to my buddy that was next to me, and he was watching it. And when I got it back, I thought the ball of light like went like that into me, and it freaked me out. And I ran out of the thing. I'm like, it's fucking in my head. It's in my head. So that was it. And then I was over it pretty quick. At least I like to remember it that way. But as for like strange, I'm trying to now that's again, like I have this issue where I'm like, I have to look and see what I've done. Let's see, Xbox. Oh, the one with the doll, Emmy the Haunted Doll. So that was a Cabbage Patch doll that somebody did on TikTok, where they had a video and the doll's dancing and everything, and they picked it up and took the back off and showed that there was no batteries in it. It wasn't really strange though, because I was able to replicate that. I don't know. Like a lot of them are not well, strange. Maybe the ghost hand of 1900. So there's a famous photo. I'll share it to you so you guys see what I'm talking about. I did an article on it. Let me see here. There it is. So that photo came out. It was taken in 1900, and if you look right there, there is an extra hand. I think there's a close up. There it is. So there's a hand with fingers on her shoulder, and it doesn't belong to anyone because you can see everyone has their arms folded, and there should be no extra hand. So that was kind of weird because I remember seeing that years ago and thinking like, well, that's kind of creepy. And the more I looked into it, the more I learned about older photography, plate photography, and how they modified it. And it led to actually purchasing a retouching desk, which was an old school device that I have one. It's out on display here, but basically you had it up against a window so the sunlight could come in, reflect off a mirror that came through a translucent pane of glass. That a plate glass photo would be on, and somebody would sit there for hours and hours and hours and basically do a manual Photoshop job where they would scrape off the emulsion on the plate and retouch it with India ink to make things appear. And the best conclusion that I could come up with for this image was that somebody was in this picture because like her, Ellen Dolany. There's the example of photoshopping with old school Photoshop, because they had this growth on the side of their neck here, and you can see that they outlined it here and then took it away completely. They were able to scrape it away and rebuild the photograph. That's a retouching desk. That's what I have. But if you look at the close up here, these lines here were actually drawn in. So it doesn't match the rest of the dress. All of this was drawn in. And even the side of her hair here is drawn in. So as far as I know, there was somebody else here, and they took her out. So that was kind of strange, because I was trying to figure all that out from this picture and just deep diving into 1900 photography and learning how to do it. And actually, that was one I consulted with Joe Nickel, because he had a wealth of knowledge with that kind of photography. How's the book coming? Damn that question. I haven't worked on it in a while because I've been busy doing other stuff. So maybe I'll get to it this weekend. I don't know. I don't really know. I talked to Melanie Teresa King a couple days ago, and she asked, she's like, "How's the book coming?" I'm like, yeah, I got other stuff. I really want to get it done. I really, really do. I just, I get distracted. Squirrel. I get distracted. Shut up, Tim Binga. I see you down there. Good question. Chris Storm. How do you think medicine men healed people if not by holistic methods? They didn't use white man's medicine and had rituals they used and people healed. No, not all, but many. I honestly don't know if they healed. I think this is an assumption. We don't know if they actually healed from what the medicine man did, or if they healed naturally, or they used some kind of herbs or some kind of medicinal thing to help. I don't know. We can't look at this in general terms here. You have to give me specific cases to look at in order to determine what happened, what other treatments were available, what other things were done. I can't just go by this, because this is a very general statement. So I can't, and I know you're not being rude. Not a question. I wanted to know that question about medicine men wasn't meant to be rude or genuine. No, it's all right. And like I've told you before, I don't find your questions rude. I know you're curious, and I know you're just trying to work out different ideas and different approaches to things, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I mean that's a very general statement, and I can't go by that. I need more information, because that's kind of scenario that I see with people that claim that they were trying different, like, I mean, cancer is a bad thing. I really don't like talking about it much, but I do talk about it. But when people say that they've gone through chemo and they felt like crap afterwards, but they tried something else during the chemo, like alternative, not medicine, that they've tried it and it seemed to have worked better, or they feel better after they took it, and they don't take into account the other variable, which is the science-based medicine that they were on, or that it was some time after going through the chemo and they started to feel a little bit better after going through it. There's a lot of variables that we have to take into account. We can't just say that in general this person healed. I don't know who that person is. I don't know what was performed. I don't know who you're talking about that performed any kind of ritual or practice or anything. We have no details whatsoever. So I can't answer your question, to be honest. Missing woman in the photo refused to sign a release form. She's like, no NDA, no way, I'm not doing it. Honestly, it's see, I'm shocked I didn't get Vickers for that one. I was trying to I think, like, when I look at that picture and the way the photo is, so I'm going to share it real quick again. Let me see here. Boom, boom. All right. I see this as, like, the way that hand is there. It's almost like somebody else came into the picture, and instead of standing there, like, all the women are like this, I think it was somebody that wasn't really supposed to be in that picture and just came over and went like, "What's up?" And that's it. And had somebody else's head. I'm assuming it's a woman. I don't know if it is. But had their head pressed against the side of that woman or on the side, and it was just like, "Hey, what's up?" And was in the picture. And maybe management was like, "No, you don't belong in there. You're not part of this team. No, get her out." But that's my, the first photo bomb. That's the way I see it, because even when you look at her arm, look at the shoulder and arm, this is drawn in. And you might not be able to see it so well here. Let me see if I can blow it up. You can see how this is a different shade. This is a different shade. It doesn't flow like the rest of the dress, even though this looks like it's filled in a little bit more, but this looks cartoonish. This arm is also smaller than it should be. And then there's an ink blot right there from the India ink. So this is all, it just doesn't match the way it should be over on this side. There's a lot of things that are out of place. So that's my best guess. I don't know for sure because I don't have any other information except for what's in what's in the article. That's everything I can find, which isn't too much. But it is a good breakdown. The whole side of the dress skirt. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It was a good art. That was a fun article. Tech question here from Carburetors and Coffee. What microphone are you using? It sounds amazing. Thanks. Oh, really? This one. It is what is this? Fine. So I picked it up. It's supposed to go right into the computer. So it goes in. Well, actually, you can use USB. I use it through a mixer, though, because I like to have everything going into the mixer so I can control it. Especially when Donna starts making fun of me, I can turn her mic off. But I got this a while ago because I also had, like, my older one is off to the side so that I can actually I have to replace that one because this one over here was Donna's, and for a while there. We didn't realize it until you guys spoke up and realized that like she sounded like she was like far away and her mic wasn't actually working. So I actually have to get rid of that because that doesn't work because we swapped it out and now people can hear her. So yeah, it's on Phantom Power. And it seems to work good. It has knobs on it so I can adjust gain and pitch, but they don't work because they only work when you plug it directly into a computer. So my mixer takes over and it kind of is a wasted feature, but oh well. Hopefully it works good for you. All right, what else we got? 2.5 hours. Woo, yeah. Do you know anyone with... Oh my goodness. Tim's probably laughing because he saw this and he's like, oh, he's not going to be able to say this name. Oh, I don't know how to say that. So I am going to ask Google. I'm going to put it in there. Oh my God. How do you say that? Synesthesia. Synesthesia. What is it? A neurological condition in which stimulation of one sense involuntarily triggers an experience in another sense. Ooh, that is interesting. The exact cause of synesthesia is unknown, but is believed to be related to genetic predisposition and early brain development. I was waiting for this one. There you go, Tim. That's for you. It's a rare condition affecting 1 in 2,000 people. It is more common in women and all artistic individuals. Examples: a person sees the letter A as bright blue. What? A person tastes a specific flavor when they hear a particular song. A person sees a number line as a three-dimensional landscape. A number line. What? I don't know what that means. Can Vicker himself? Yeah. But then I'd be screwed. I'm writing this down. So let's see. Synesthesia. Important to distinguish between true synesthesia and metaphorical or literary use of the term, such as a symphony of colors. True synesthesia involves involuntary and consistent experiences, while metaphorical use is intentional and figurative. Wow, this is interesting. I don't know what the number line means. Like a person that sees a number line. Oh, wait, like 1, 2, 3 sees a three-dimensional landscape. That I taste a specific flavor. That's interesting. So it's one sense that triggers another sense. Sees the letter A as bright blue. Wow. I'm trying to think. Like I'm seeing letters in my head, but they're all white, which is strange because I'm used to seeing them black on paper, but I'm seeing it in my head as white because the background in my head is black. That's interesting. I'm a negative. This has got me thinking now. Holy shit. I'm going to be up all night. It's going to be 3 a.m. and I'm going to go, why is that letter not blue? We delved into this in biophysics. Super cool. It's really interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh, Maryland Monday. Navy blue for you? Like, do you actually see? Oh, so wait, your letters appear navy blue with a light gray background. That's interesting. Like, I don't now I'm thinking like, what am I? Let me look at papers. That's funny. Like I think I remember when I remember reading a paper, I'm remembering the picture of the paper. So it's a white paper with black lettering. But when I just think of individual letters or numbers, they are white with a black background. That's so weird. All right. Hey, Candy. I like seeing in my own head. John Michael, I don't know what's going on in your head. Thank you for that earworm. When I'm up tonight and the sun rises and I'm still up, it's your fault. Know that. Hyper. Oh, geez. Stop with the words, Tim. I'm not saying it. Like I see red color. Oh, what do you see? I see red color letters float above blue background as if 3D, but in reality 2D. Wow. Like I can imagine those. When you tell me that, that's what I see in my head. But on my own, yeah, that's interesting that we all have different ways of bringing things to mind. That's so interesting. That shows the diversity, and it's also, I mean, this is a really good point of why when I interview people, I don't offer descriptions. Like when I ask, what was the person wearing? Or if you saw a ghost, what did they look like? I let them tell me exactly what they're talking about, and then I ask clarifying questions based on that description. I don't offer my own descriptions. When they're saying something like, "Oh, I saw like they were wearing like a kind of a red, but not really red," I don't offer things like pink, or maybe a red orange. I don't offer anything. I let them work it through because I want to get their full description. Because stuff like this, we have such different ways of remembering and articulating what we saw that I want to get through what they have. That's fascinating. I'm so distracted right now. All right, new rabbit hole. I know, right? I am so deep in this rabbit hole. Holy shit. I'm never going to leave here. Somebody asked about me sleeping here. I mean, I might be here in the morning, still looking it up, like eyes wide, like, oh my God. Yeah. I always view sleep as a waste of time. Like it feels good when I'm sleeping. And, you know, I usually get that feeling like when you wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. Just 5 more minutes, which turns into an hour. But I hate that I have to go to sleep. It's such a waste of time. There's so many other things I can do, like read, play video games. Has any optical illusions freaked you out? Optical illusions that freaked me out. So I wouldn't say freak me out, but fascinated me. So there was one. I was tagging along with a ghost hunting team years ago, and they were at this big. It was like a what do you call it? Like a big hall kind of thing that was you rent out for parties and stuff like that, like a banquet hall. And somebody had a photo that they had took from the center of the room into the kitchen area, and what it looked like in the center of the picture was a old man in a wheelchair. And this was before phone apps, so it wasn't the phone app wheelchair guy. But it really looked like a guy that was kind of hunched over in a wheelchair in the kitchen. And this was the picture was taken during a previous ghost hunt. So according to the team, it was only the team that was there. There was no one in a wheelchair. And they don't remember seeing anything like that. And it was just weird. So I had been able to tag along, and it was only like 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later. It was very close to the time where the photo was taken. And we're looking, I had printed it out because that's one of the practices that I do is when there is a photograph that I need to really look at, get more details, and I want to recreate it. I usually print it out on like an 8x10 or 8.5 by 11, the largest image I could get, where I print it out so I can hold it up and, look. I don't want to just go by my phone. I want bigger is better in this case. And I'm standing in there and I'm going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, there it is. I'm looking dead straight at this old man in a wheelchair. I see him, like not in the picture. I see him in the kitchen. And I'm like, holy shit. What am I looking at? And it was so cool because as soon as I took a step like this, not even a step, just moved like this, it was gone. I took a step forward, gone. Took a step away, gone. So I made note, took a flashlight, turned it on, zeroed in on where I was seeing this thing, and walked straight to it, and found out that it was a combination of things. It was a trash bag, like a full trash bag. It was a countertop. It was a fan, like a tabletop fan that, like the circular ones that rotate. And then a can of Heinz ketchup. But they were all in different like distances. So it wasn't, those optical illusions that are all like stuff back at the wall and there's stuff here and you have to look at it a certain way and they line up perfectly. That's what it was. So like the Heinz ketchup container was one of them big gallon containers. That was on a counter, which was a good 6-7 feet in front of the trash bag. The fan was on a shelf behind it, and it just all lined up perfectly. And it was really cool. Again, it didn't freak me out, but it was like, what am I looking at? So maybe it did freak me out, but in a good way. I didn't run away. It was really, really cool experience. And it really taught me, you can see things. The stories where people say, I walked by the room and I swear I saw somebody in there. You can see an optical illusion like that in an instant and then go back and it not be there because you're not at the right angle. You're either a little bit too close, a little bit too left or right or back, and it just disappears. So when I question people like that, it's because it's possible. It's really possible. It's not just me being skeptical asshole. These are things we have to consider. So good question. Good question. It's been a while since I thought about that. Whew. All right. We're you guys are pushing to try to get to hour 4, aren't you? I know it. And I bet you Bob's behind it. Damn it, Bob. All right. What else we got? Let's see. Actually, I want to, oh, wait, there it is. Damn it, Bob. Last 3 will take us. These last 3 will take us. Okay. Dun, dun. All right. Yeah. We'll end on the last 3 here. Okay. What was your favorite experience of drinking with a ghost hunting team? Your favorite experience of drinking with a ghost hunting team? Oh my goodness. I've had so much fun hanging out because it's just, whether it's a bunch of skeptics or science people or going with ghost hunting groups, paranormal people, we all have fun. I think my philosophy has always been, once you clock out per se, put business aside and just relax, have fun. And I think for the most part, most of us can do that. Not everyone can. Favorite experience? I don't know. I mean, there's been quite a few. I think the I don't know if it's my favorite experience, but I was able to get Chris Fleming fuming mad at me. Fuming, so freaking mad at me. At a Gettysburg conference, to the point where he wanted to fight. He wanted to physically fight me. And it was great because it was one of the things that I've talked about before is staying calm, remaining calm. And I think I did that so well that he was yelling at me and I was staying calm. And the more calm I stayed, the more angry he got. And then, of course, the alcohol kicked in and sarcasm was coming out because I'm pretty good at that shit. And that I was yelling to. So, and then I walked away. Well, I was taken away. I was taken away. And then the funny experience was I woke up in the morning to a text from Jason Hall going, I heard you had fun last night. I was like, oh shit. So that there was that. Oh, and then of course, probably why John's asking is the lightsaber battle at the Louisville, the Mid South conference, Mid South Ghost Hunting or Ghosts. What is it? Mid South Paranormal Conference. I forget what they called it. It was Mid South in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was a hotel that had a inner courtyard, so an enclosed inner courtyard, and there was a lightsaber battle that broke out. I was hoping you were going to say the time we drank at the bar in Philly with the team on. People just started dancing to a tube. Oh my goodness! Well, that was fun too. John and his group came up to Fort Mifflin, and I met them down there, and we ended up spending more time at the bar, I think, than at the fort. So that was good. That night I met Kenny. We shared a room together. Even though that wasn't the plan. That's because I don't know where you were supposed to go, but you were out of a room or something. I think, wasn't it? Oh man, that was so long ago. That was a fun time though. Lightsaber battles and somebody, not me, took a lightsaber to the balls. I might have been the one holding the lightsaber. I was the one holding the lightsaber. Malachi, what's your favorite example of something that seemed and was widely accepted to be paranormal, but turned out to be entirely mundane? Favorite example of something. So I guess I the first thing that comes to mind is the Brown Lady of Raymond Hall. So I've studied that picture for a long time. I've been able to replicate it with what I believe is the technique used at the time. I had to update a little bit. I used film, and there's some discrepancy with what media they used, what medium, because some have it as they use plate photography, so a glass plate, and others have it as orthographic film, so black and white dental film. But either way, it was the same camera that was used, and I have a similar camera here that takes both plate photography and film. And it's the old school where you lift the lid up, you look through the ground glass to focus, and then you put in your slide in order to expose the plate or the film. And that is basically the Brown Lady of Raymond Hall is, as far as I'm concerned, it is a separate image of a blurry statue of the Virgin Mary that is sandwiched. So they either took both plates or both negatives, sandwiched them together, and rephotographed it or made a print from those. And that's how we got the Brown Lady of Raymond Hall. So everything that I look at, when I keep looking at it, and again, I've recreated it several times in that capacity, in that method. And I think that's the best, because that's like the most famous ghost photo in history. To be honest, like that's the most famous. Everyone has seen it. Even if you don't realize you've seen it, you've seen it. I don't think I'll ever look at that picture the same way again. Now that's all I can see. So yeah, I mean, and there was a lot more to the background of that. The lady that owned Raymond Hall at the time she had a shrine behind the stairs. So if when you see the stairway going up, there is actually a little alcove behind it, and there was a shrine there. So I think Sherry, oh my gosh, Indre, that's it, Indre Shira and Captain Provan, who was the two people that took those pictures. They knew about it, and I think they exploited that interest in order to get it endorsed by the lady that owned the house, owned the mansion. And even the lady, when you, Lady Towson, I think was her name, she came out and said that it looked too much like the Virgin Mary, and she didn't believe it at all. And there was no big to do or anything. There's a lot more to the story, and one of these days I'll get my ass around to making a video explaining it all. I started to, but then I again, squirrel. I got sidetracked. So one of these days I'll get back to it. All right. I think last question, maybe. When was the last time someone told you to clean your room? Actually, Tim Binga. I think he's the only one that's told me. He came in the one day, and to be fair, he was right, because I had shit all over the place. Like this is nothing. This is nothing. This is pretty clean. But over there, I had more and more boxes that had stuff, and I kind of was just like in the middle of, I say in the middle, but it really wasn't the case. But I just had stuff that I had not put away. And he came in the one day because he comes in. It's like a kind of routine that we have. He comes in here in the morning, sits down, enjoys his coffee, and we talk about like what we're both working on, if we need help from each other, and ideas for upcoming projects and stuff like that. We kind of do a jam session, and he's like, "Yeah, you really need to clean up in here." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did, and usually it's not too bad. Like it looks pretty good right now, except for all the shit that's on my desk. But a lot of this will go away soon because it's like receipts that I have to turn in and reports that I have to put back in the file cabinet. So, but there you go. I think we can do one more question maybe, and I'll say that again after we've done this. Why did the camp inquiry come to an end? It sounds like a great opportunity for kids to learn critical thinking skills. I don't have an answer for you, to be honest. That wasn't something that I was a part of. That was well before my time here. And it would be nice to do it, but I don't know if there would be interest, because I don't know, to be honest. I'm just going to come out and say I don't know, because I don't know what was involved and how much work was involved with that. So I can't say one way or the other if it would be worth it now or not. For me, I prefer to go into the schools and talk to kids in the schools. We have to make it to 11:01 at least. Then we'll end question. Okay. All right. Well, we're good. We're good for that. Yeah, I mean, I like going to the schools because I've had the opportunity since I've been here to go into grade school, high school. I've been in colleges and spoken to classes all around, and just used my work as an example of like how critical thinking can help you solve cases. And for a camp, like that's got to be a lot. Like I don't know how much it would cost and all that. So it'd be cool to do again. You know, I would certainly take part if I could. I don't know what capacity, but I would. I tend to. I would love that a kid. Me too. I tend to overextend what I can do. If there's a project, I'm always like, yeah, I'll help. I'll help. Yeah, what can I do? I love it, and that's why I don't get the book done. That's a convenient excuse. All right, cool. What else we got? We're doing good. We got 7 minutes to go. What do you know about the Shag Harbor UFO? I don't know anything right now. Let's see. Shag Harbor UFO. Oh, look, it comes right up. Did I look this up before? Shag Harbor UFO was a reported impact of an unknown large object into waters near Shag Harbor, Nova Scotia. Ooh, there's like newspaper clippings. That's not a good picture. It's just all black. That's a horrible picture. Holy shit. Oh, wait. It's woods. Could be something concrete in Shag Harbor UFO. Blasted by U.S. Continue search today. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to put that down on my list. Shag Harbor UFO. Look into it a little bit more. Shagadelic, baby. Yeah, baby. Donna isn't there to rein him in. Hey, Dawson Toller is here. Who let him in? You're still going? Good God. Shut up, Dawson. Bitch. Yeah, I'm still going. I'm going. I'm curious if you might look into the Anish. No. Tim Vickers is having fun with this. Something man, Daryl Archie of Ontario, says his leukemia was cured by a medicine man. So that I highly doubt that. But let's see, Anish Nalby. I will look into this. Daryl Archie of Ontario. Yeah, there is no cure for leukemia, as far as I know. So, I highly doubt this is true. Let's see. He says leukemia. I mean, because if that was true, we'd know a lot more about it. This would not be an obscure story. This would be mainstream science. So I'll go look this up real quick to see if there's anything. Anish. Wow. Nobby. Nobby. Man. Daryl. This is what I do all day. Like, look at things to see how they're spelled. Archie. Cancer cured by medicine man. First Nations man says. Yahoo's News. 2014. Science blog. Testimonial. A cancer cure testimonial for traditional healing. So did Eddie Two Teeth cure Daryl Archie? Almost certainly not. Prayer and sweat lodges do not cure leukemia. Oh, okay. That's from a science blog. So I'll look into it a little bit more. I brought it up here. If that's all that happened, got rid of his leukemia and he's concerned recent controversy over the treatment of First Two Nations girls will rob them of a cure. All right. So yeah, like I can already get, this is what happens. I get an idea and I start like, there's my intention right over there. So I wrote it down in my homework. So I will touch on this. I'll try and get to it so I can give some kind of idea next week when we come back. So we're almost there. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go. If we have one more question, it's been a while since I heard "Shut Up, Dawson" from Kenny. That warmed my heart. Shut up, Dawson. Oh, it's good. I actually we were talking because I noticed you said something. You're going cryptid hunting tomorrow. What's your over under? Find it. Odds are over under 0.5. You are not going to find. I'm going to say 0. You're not going to find anything. I'm sure you're going to hear noises. That's about it. I'm sorry. What was that? How many questions can Teach It Forward ask if Teach It Forward can ask questions? 6. That's your limit. Then you're cut off. Is squirrel. Squirrel. For real. How do I get falling down the rabbit holes as a job? I'd be amazed at that. You have to be very lucky. Not that I believe in luck. it's honestly, I got this job because I worked my ass off, writing and making videos and just having my hand in everything and trying to understand what's going on. And I think like one of the things that I know my boss, I keep tugging on my beard, that my boss likes about me, and I know this because it was written in my performance review, is that once I get onto something, if I don't understand it, that's my focus. Like I need to understand things. There are some things I know I'm not going to understand, like physics. I'm not going to understand it, and so I don't go into it. I know there's other people that are much more qualified, much more learned than I am that I can consult. But when it comes to a concept or an idea or a story that I don't know about, that I'm working on, that is accessible to me, then that is my priority. I make it I'm obsessive with finding out what's going on. And I think that's part of what makes me a good investigator, is because I try to be as thorough as possible. I'm not looking at information that just supports what I think is going on. I'm going to go beyond that. And that's something I encourage too. Don't look for information that just supports your idea. Like go beyond it. Look to see what doesn't support your idea. Try to understand both sides. Try to understand how things work. Not just read about it, but get technical manuals. Look at videos on it of how things work. I mean, I was watching a bunch of videos yesterday on air pressure in a house, like how airtight are houses and what happens when air gets in and the pressure that acts on everything. And I've talked about it a lot, about air pressure acting on the entire volume of air. And so I was refreshing it and trying to get more detail, trying to get a deeper understanding of just air fucking pressure in a house, because of some things that have happened that I'm writing about. But I think that's what part of this job is. Like you have to know so much. And you can't possibly know everything. So I take it in little bites and learn as much as I can for the job or the task that I'm working on at the time, and then move on afterwards. That's why when like tonight, several questions came up about like what was my scariest or strangest story and that I've investigated and stuff. And I have to go back and look at the things that I've done because I don't remember all the reports. All the articles, all the videos, there's so many that I've done that I don't remember all the details, and I have to refresh my memory on them. But that's fun. And it keeps life interesting. Like every day I come to work and I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I have no idea what I'm going to learn. And every day I learn something different. I learn something new. I learn something more. And it's just fascinating to me that this life has so much mystery that every day I can come to work and learn something new. It's just, it excites me. So with that, we are into hour 4, but we're going to wrap it up because I am getting tired and I want to play video games. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go home and chill. Because I have nothing to do this weekend. I have a few things that I might want to do, but I am going to wrap it up. So everyone, thank you for hanging out for the last 3 hours or so. I appreciate it. I like that. That's nice. Next week, anyone learn next letter in the alphabet after M. Shush you. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys staying around. And what do I usually say at the end? I'm totally drawing a blank. Anyway, have a nice weekend. Have a safe weekend. I have my game queued up. Enjoy the weekend, and remember, never stop learning. And I will see you next week. And bye.
Hey, diddle diddle, here's a little riddle. Who's the best debunker? Is it Kenny Biddle? Oh, he's good, not just a little. Not at the bottom or even the middle. Strike a chord like a fiddle. Tasting the rainbow like a skittle. That's fragile and brittle. You can watch him take a problem and start to riddle the problem away. He does not play, he takes his job so seriously. He loves a challenge and won't turn you away. He's such a skeptic, he keeps those believers exposing the fake. It wouldn't take him long to find a needle in hay. Use a magnet, damn it. Now take a drink of candy specialty. Someone may say that's not for me. To each their own, it will be. Man, Kenny's such a skeptic, drinking skeptical tea. Like and subscribe, everybody turn notifications on. And go watch his show and forget about this song. Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye the Science Guy, can you remember? You'll like Kenny better, so head to the Skeptical Help Bar and meet the bartender. Pick up a drink and relax, cause nobody does this better. Not even close, not even a little. He's the one and only Kenny Biddle. Kenny Biddle.
Ain't no party like the after party. What's up, people? Who's still here? Anyone still here? I think there is. I know there's like 30 some people still watching. Oh, hello, everybody. Second win coming up. After party. Woo, you know what this means? We play the psychic dice game. What? I knew it. Hey, remember to look up Newsweek. Oh, yeah, the Newsweek thing. Let me write that down. Newsweek paranormal page. Because they're silly. All right, here we go. Maybe I'll even give you some superstitions. Popular home remedies and superstitions. Pick this up at a book sale today. Woo! For $1. It's like the MCU post-credit scene. That's right. All right. So what we do, if you're new to this after party thing, is that I take this 6-sided die and I roll it. And I usually roll it 4 times, which I'm going to do tonight. I roll it 4 times and you guys get to guess. We're going to see if you're psychic. So I'm going to put my my notebook here near the microphone so you can hear the dice hit. And then once it hits, oh, look at this. We're getting Malachi's already predicting what it's going to be. I think you need to know the rest of the rules before you start doing, especially the 6-sided part. It's just like the freak off part or the baby oil. Oh my goodness. So here we go. Roll number 1. There we go. It's down. So what do we got? I'm going to give you guys like 10 seconds or so. Oh, man. That's some good rum. Love it. I'm going to give you a countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the number is 4. Some of you got it right. Look at that shit. Malachi got it right. Jeff AF got it right. John without an H got it right. Panda oh my God. Panda Kaizen. I got to practice that. Lots of 4s. That's pretty good. All right. So some of you guys got 1. All right. So this looks bad. It looks bad when I'm doing this and you can't see the dice. All right. Here we go. Second roll, and it goes down. Oh shit. Okay, there it is. It's still good. There we go. All right. Looking for answers. 5, 1, 3, 1, 1. I'm cutting the clip of you rolling the die. Thanks, Tim. This is fun. This is like informal psychic testing. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's nice. It kind of pauses. So, all right. So the official number is a 4. Again, 2 4s in a row. So let me write that down. 4 and a 4. All right. Number 3. Rule number 3. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's down. Always a 2. 2. The die is loaded with rum. 4, 6, 1, 5, 3. 1, 2. Fake. That's funny. All right. I'm going to give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And there it is. It's a 1. So, ooh, we got the 4, 4, 4, 1. I was going to say 4, 1, 1. I screwed that one up. Never mind. Ignore me. All right. Last roll. Here we go. Last roll. You're lucky I don't use the 100-sided die. All right. It's down. Let's see what you guys come up with. I got ESPN. That's funny. All right. Let's see here. We got 3, 1, 6, 5, 6, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Whew. Okay. These. Oh, where'd it go? You roll 7. I go, damn. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And the last number is a number 3. There you go. So 4, 4, 1, 3. How'd you guys do? Anyone get all 4? I don't think anyone got all 4. But I'm not really keeping score, so. Oh my goodness. I just got an email. So this is the kind of shit you get after the after party. So all the other people that hung out and then they bail because they see the end credits. They're like, oh yeah, I'm psychic 25% of the time. So I just got an email that says, kill heaven. We kill off religion. Heaven is a metaphor of the womb, childhood, the good old days. And it is a whole thing. I'm going to share this. You want me to share this with you guys so you see the kind of stuff that I get? Let me see. What is it? Oh my God. Here we go. Window. Yeah, that one. So this is the kind of email that I get. No one mentions any work being done. No one even asks. No reason why I explain below. People will be fed, protected, sheltered, cared for. But that was our try. This just goes on and on. I have to ask this question to so many theists. What work do you do in heaven? Sure, I get this. We will be working for God. It goes on and on. Oh, well, that's a lot. I don't want to show too much of that was her phone number and stuff. I don't want anyone calling her, but like that. So this is a daily thing that I got. I'll leave it up for a few more seconds so you can read it. But this is like stuff that I get almost every day. I get something like this, or I get a phone call from someone, or I get a letter in the mail. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Like this one we got for Planned Parenthood, but it has like writing on it, and it's newspaper clippings and rantings of people. It's a part of my job that it's still interesting sometimes, but it's like, why are you bothering me with this? And it's mostly like when it comes to this kind of stuff, talking about religion, commandments, and God and going to heaven. It almost infuriates me. And I want to say this before I get into it. Like, you can have your own beliefs. You can have your own religion that you follow, and that's cool as long as you keep it to yourself. If you want to talk about it, if you want to decorate your house in shrines and stuff like that, that is you, man. You do you. I'm all for it, and I will protect your right as much as I can for you to do that. But I don't like when not you, but when someone insists on trying to push that onto other people, and when they try to push it onto me, that I'm a bad person. They don't even know me, but I'm a bad person because I don't believe what they do. And it just annoys me that someone can be so arrogant and so self-righteous that they have to save me from something that I consider a fairy tale. And I'm not trying to be insulting if that's what your belief is, but to me, it's a fairy tale, and just one I don't subscribe to. If you want to have a conversation, ask. You know, I've had lunch with pastors, especially while I was up here. I've had lunch with pastors who just wanted to talk and say, hey, they wanted to get to know me and get to know my position on things. I'm totally for that. Don't send me a fucking email with like paragraphs and paragraphs of made up dialogue, trying to convince me that I need to do better so I can get into heaven. It's not going to work. Not going to work at all. So stop it. If you're watching, stop it. Oh my goodness. Now I get to go through and look at some of the comments. I don't get to follow the conversations a lot because I'm so focused on answering the questions. Let's see. That's right. Yeah. I mean, I want, and it is strange. I mean, you should see some of the stuff. We get letters sometimes. So, because the other part of the organization is about free thought, and we have a magazine called Free Inquiry, which deals more with the religious side. I was an atheist until this one email. So we get a lot of mail sent to us, and it's usually addressed to Nicole, who is one of the editors. She's down the hall from me, and she gets it, and it comes to me now because it's usually filled with weird stuff and just writing. There was an envelope that had writing all over it, the outside of the envelope. And it was just all rantings and Bible verses and stuff like that, telling us that we are doomed to hell because we don't subscribe to their belief. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. Hey, Tim, you want to come on? I know you're in the background there. You want to come on and chat? And if you don't have to. I'm kind of putting you on the spot. Let's see. What color was it written in? You mean crayons? Some of them, some are in red. Sometimes they write in like a red marker. Like that's going to get more of my attention. And to be honest, I do read them. I do read because I'm just fascinated. Like how out in left field are you? How far out in that field? Like, are you in the stands? Are you out in the parking lot? Where are you with your level of strangeness? You know, Tim should totally come on. I'll wait when your camera comes on. Oh, you can add. Oh, there he is. Hold on. I'll bring you on. There he is. Hey, there's Tim in the background. Nope, not on yet.
I had my mic muted in case I was back here laughing.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody catches me there with my gaming headset on, so I look like
Princess Leia.
thank you. Yes, it was escaping me.
You got the cinnamon buns.
I do, but it's really nice. It's cheap headset and fun for gaming, so it does good bass, good sound.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't wear a headset. I mean, I have a headset. I just never use it. Because I just know I never got into it. My son does. My son uses it all the time, and I know because he gets so much louder when he's talking with his friends and he's yelling. And at least once a night, I have to go in there and be like, "Dude, shut up."
Well, I ended up with headset or headphones because other people in the house, yeah.
I really should. I should get back into it because I know, I like the TV loud. My hearing is not the greatest anyway, because being a mechanic for so long and using air tools, so it's not the greatest. But I also like to hear everything, especially when the games you play where like you can hear footsteps of enemies coming up. So you got to make sure, and so that's why I keep the TV up, and that bothers the hell out of Donna. I know, so I might invest in a good pair so that I can not worry about that.
I've been caught up in the new Delta Force game, so listening and the sound will give you the direction of the footsteps as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
So
I take an ass kicking in that game all the time, and every time I get beat, which is often, I'm like some 12-year-old shit just kicked my ass in this game.
So I picked up this book today. Really interesting. Just browsing through it, and so there's one that while we were talking before the show that surprised me. So it's broken down into like sections. So you have folk medicine and old superstitions, home remedies. You have, what's the next thing? Have good luck, avoid bad luck. So these are things that you can do to avoid bad luck. And the one here, it says, this is interesting. This is the one that I read to you. This really made me think about how, for lack of a better word, dumb people were in the past. So it says, Bible. If you carry the 91st Psalm with you in the army, bullets will not harm you. Like, that was a home remedy and superstition that people believed. And I was like, I wonder how that worked out for you.
Well, if everybody carried it, who the hell would win?
Right. Let's see. There was some home remedies that I was showing. I posted pictures of this earlier, but like hysteria. In order to cure hysteria, you pass your finger between your toes and smell it. This remedy may also be used for colds. And in parentheses, it tells you, do not run your fingers between the toes of another person.
Dude, what? Don't run your toes through the fingers of another person?
No, you run your finger through the toes, through your own, and then you're supposed to smell it. And that cures hysteria and a cold.
I think that's a sign of hysteria.
For a nosebleed, one can chew newspaper. Like they told you to take newspaper and put it in your mouth and chew it, and that'll cure a nosebleed. Let's see. What else do we have? Kidney disease. This complaint may be cured by using goat urine. This is why I love science-based medicine so much. Avoid. Oh my God. Avoiding sickness. Do not pay the doctor, at least in full. If you would avoid sickness in the family. So just give them a little bit, but don't pay them in full. That's kind of like, well, I still owe you some, so I will avoid being sick. Oh my goodness.
Do you remember like not going outside in the cold with your hair wet? And
Yes.
They would say you'll get sick.
Yeah.
I used to believe that. I mean, it's
don't
not
go-
comfortable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, especially if it's cold out, it
Yeah.
gets really cold. I wouldn't do that here. I guarantee you by the time I got home, my hair would be ice. It's so cold here right now.
Yeah, or going to bed with your hair wet. My grandmother.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was just because she didn't want my pillows to be soaked and smell.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I mean, I've only paged through and just looked here and there at different things that just caught my attention. Let's see. Dreams and what they mean. Witches and our own superstition. So, death and hell are perhaps the only things man fears more than witches. Nothing has come down through time that has harmed man's mind so much as these, quote, unseen things in the dark. Briefly, some notions are recalled to us as follows. Borrowing. If you think you are bewitched, beware of the first person coming to borrow from you. It is a witch.
That's how people died back then. This is interesting. Steal your breath with a fan. I never heard that, but I've heard cats would do that to children.
Wow.
Infants.
I've never heard that. Yeah.
The cats would steal the breath of infants. I've not heard with this.
Wow.
I love, well, I think it's probably because infants would feed on milk before bedtime, and it probably would bring a cat, and a cat would rest on the chest of an infant.
Oh, okay.
To
Yeah.
smell.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if that's true. That's an explanation that was given to me that I have no concrete information that it's true. Whoops.
The broom.
Dog steal blankets, not breath. That's facts.
If you are bewitched, lay a broom before the door. The rules decree that the first person to come in and to pick up the broom is a witch.
Or somebody that just likes a tidy place.
Right. I mean, if I came in. Oh, there you go.
My breath stealer.
Oh, is that a black cat?
Ooh.
So evil looking.
She's a good hunter.
Demonic eyes.
She's getting mad, so we're going to go ahead and let her go. Before I take a butt kicking from a cat on camera.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Scratches all over your face.
It's happened.
All right. Well, everyone, I'm happy that everyone stayed out and hung out with us for an extra little after party. Gets a little bit looser, and we do the psychic die game, and usually there's a little bit more banter like between me and Donna. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'm going to abruptly end the stream because we already did the outro.
Don't mess it up even on this one.
Oh, well, it's really like 2 clicks. So, and then it should just stop. So everyone else, we'll see you next week, and have a great.
I had a great time watching you guys. So every time Kenny asks me, I love to do this when I can. Some of the comments you guys, and I did get involved with some of the comments because we were having fun, and Kenny's like, okay, next question. And I was like, oh shit. And then I started putting up old questions. It's like, fuck, don't go. Oh, shit.
Donna does it because she's over there sometimes. And like, I'll glance over, and for some reason, like, she doesn't use the chat here because she's on the account. So if she comments, it looks like it's me commenting. So she has her phone out and she's usually engaged in the conversations.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, all right, next question.
Yeah, there's Kit. I found out Kit's a mountaineer. She's from Kit's from West Virginia. So we were
Yes.
kind of, yeah.
She is great. I love Kid. She's a hoot. I
West
can't
Virginia.
wait. Yeah. Grafton, when we go to the festival and you
I'm
meet her.
coming this year. Yep.
Yeah. Good.
Oh,
It'll be good.
she's in Grafton.
Yeah.
We can meet her.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I'm going to end it, and everyone else have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.